Chapter 1540. Going all out due to the West Armor Dragon God's craziness, Yang Hongwu had no choice but to retreat. However, Yang Hongwu knew that the West Armor Dragon God was already at his limit. There was no need for him to fight to the death with the West Armor Dragon God. Only a fool would do such a thing. As expected, after a fierce battle, the West Armor Dragon God's aura weakened. On the other hand, Yang Hongwu had become stronger. 7th level Tai True God. Yang Hongwu's cultivation base had reached the next level. He was now a 7th level Tai True God. As for the West Armor Dragon God, he had already become dispirited. His attacks were no longer as powerful and domineering as before. Of course, the West Armor Dragon God had also regained his composure. Right now, this brat was able to devour his energy to strengthen himself. On the other hand, the West Armor Dragon God's strength was being weakened. If this continued, the consequences would be unimaginable. When the time came, he would be the one to die. This time, he had suffered a great loss. Retreating and leaving was his only way out. After leaving this brat's sea of consciousness, he still had a lot of energy left. After all, he was the emperor. Although he no longer had a physical body, his strength was still far beyond that of an ordinary deity emperor. Since there was no way he could possess the flesh, he would just have to destroy it. Thinking of this, the West Armor Dragon God's eyes were filled with murderous intent. The West Armor Dragon God launched a powerful attack at Yang Hongwu. After forcing Yang Hongwu to retreat, he turned into a beam of light and rushed out of Yang Hongwu's sea of consciousness. Although the West Armor Dragon God's plan was good, Yang Hongwu wasn't so simple. How could he not have predicted this? When he had the upper hand, Yang Hongwu had already predicted that the West Armor Dragon God would escape from his sea of consciousness. As such, Yang Hongwu had already sealed his sea of consciousness. Even he wouldn't be able to leave his sea of consciousness for 2 hours. You actually sealed off your own sea of consciousness. When the Dragon God realized that he couldn't leave Yang Hongwu's sea of consciousness, his expression changed. He looked at Yang Hongwu and realized what was going on. If he couldn't leave, then he must have been completely sealed. This brat had planned this all along. Now that Yang Hongwu had sealed his sea of consciousness, there was only one way for him to leave this sea of consciousness. The only way was to kill Yang Hongwu, seize his body, and take control of it. Otherwise, he would be forever sealed in this sea of consciousness unless Yang Hongwu died. You want to escape? Yang Hongwu smiled and looked at him. Aren't you the ruler of Shi Jialong? Wasn't he the creator of this world? Wasn't he the emperor, the ruler of this world? Why are you leaving in such a hurry? How could Yang Hongwu let him off so easily when he was so arrogant and wanted Yang Hongwu to offer up his own body for him to possess? What a joke. This was a life and death grudge. Little brat, are you forcing me to do this? The Dragon God looked at Yang Hongwu and said coldly, I admit that I can't seize your body now. I'm even being suppressed by you. However, if you think that you've already suppressed me, then you're too naive. If you let me go, then I won't pursue this matter. However, if you're stubborn, then I'll kill you even if I have to go into a deep sleep. Is that so? Yang Hongwu squinted his eyes. Although he was worried, he couldn't let him go no matter what. What a joke. This guy was an existence that surpassed the divine emperor realm, the legendary emperor realm. If Lin Fan let him go, how could Lin Fan resist him? One should know that a divine emperor realm expert's incarnation was already very terrifying, not to mention a guy above the divine emperor realm. He was even stronger. Even if it was just a remnant soul, it was still very terrifying. With Lin Fan's current strength, he wouldn't be a match for it. However, it was different here. This was his soul. Here, he was the only ruler of this world. Here, he could unleash his strength to the fullest. That was why he was able to completely suppress the West Armor Dragon Lord and gain the upper hand here. If he let the West Armor Dragon Lord leave, he would be courting death. Yang Hongwu didn't want to die. Therefore, he couldn't let the Dragon God go. The West Armor Dragon God was enraged. He glared at Yang Hongwu with murderous intent in his eyes. He couldn't help but admit that Yang Hongwu was too smart. No wonder Li Longjin thought highly of him. Li Longjin had schemed against him a long time ago. This time, he had schemed against him again. Everything seemed to be under his control. The West Armor Dragon God was furious and resentful. His hatred had reached its peak. Soul ignition. The dragon god roared. His body was burning with flames. His strength was increasing rapidly. He was becoming more and more terrifying. Not good. Seeing this, Yang Hongwu's face changed. Previously, he was already at his limit. If it wasn't for the fortune chi provided by the fortune sacred tree, he would have been taken over by the dragon god. Now that the West Armor Dragon Lord was trapped here, he had gone completely mad. He was burning his own soul to increase his own strength. Yang Hongwu was terrified by this. A supreme emperor burning his own soul to increase his strength. How terrifying would that be? Yang Hongwu could clearly feel the West Armor Dragon Lord's aura growing stronger and stronger. In fact, Yang Hongwu could feel that his own sea of consciousness could no longer hold on. It was about to explode from this terrifying power. Suppress. Yang Hongwu roared. If his spiritual sea of consciousness were to explode, the consequences would be unthinkable. He would be deader than dead. The soul was the foundation of a human. Even if he could survive, he would be in a state worse than death. He would only be left with a trace of his soul. It wouldn't be easy for him to recover. Therefore, when Yang Hongwu sensed the intentions of the West Armor Dragon Lord, he became even more ruthless. He mustered all his strength to suppress the West Armor Dragon Lord. He couldn't let the West Armor Dragon Lord succeed. The sacred tree of creation seemed to have sensed the danger and increased the output of creation chi. Yang Hongwu could clearly feel that the sacred tree of creation, which was originally green and full of vitality, had become somewhat withered. Chapter 1541. The Saint Doctor reappears. It's useless. You're too weak. I've burned my soul. You're dreaming if you think you can suppress me. Shijia Dragon God laughed maniacally. Li Longjin, you tricked me once and caused me to lose my physical body. I had no choice but to hide here until I found a physical body that could contain me. I didn't expect you to trick me again. But this time, you didn't expect me to use such a method. Even though I was severely injured and fell into a deep slumber, you still didn't succeed. Shijia Dragon God's aura continued to rise. Yang Hongwu smiled bitterly. He had already unleashed his strength to the maximum. The fortune chi that the fortune sacred tree could extract had also been completely extracted. But he still couldn't suppress Shijia Dragon God's aura. After all, he was an existence that surpassed the divine emperor realm. His strength was too terrifying. They were not on the same level at all. Even in his own sea of consciousness, Shijia Dragon God could still unleash such terrifying strength. In just a few more breaths, Shijia Dragon God's sea of consciousness would explode. Yang Hongwu wanted to send the Dragon Gate and all the women in his world out, but he couldn't do it. Yang Hongwu was forced into a desperate situation once again. He still had a chance to survive before. But this time, would he really encounter a miracle again? Ha, little bastard, go to hell. Explode, explode. Shijia Dragon God roared. He wanted to detonate Yang Hongwu's sea of consciousness. Sigh. At this moment, a figure appeared in Yang Hongwu's sea of consciousness. The figure sighed softly. Shijia Dragon God, why are you doing this? Hearing this voice, Yang Hongwu was overjoyed. On the other hand, the West Armor Dragon God was infuriated to the extreme. He glared at the figure. This person was none other than the person that the West Armor Dragon Lord hated to the core. He was also the person that Yang Hongwu had met in the Dragonization Tower. He was the holy doctor of the Dragon Clan, Li Longjin. Li Longjin, the Dragon God, gritted his teeth as he glared at Li Longjin. Was this all part of your plan? Now that he saw Li Longjin, the West Armor Dragon Lord understood that the situation was hopeless. Li Longjin was powerful, and now that his avatar was here, it meant that he had no chance at all. Li Longjin waved his hand gently and suppressed the energy that was about to be detonated by the West Armor Dragon Lord. In the next instant, the energy turned into pure energy and fused with Yang Hongwu's soul. As a result, Yang Hongwu's soul became stronger at a speed visible to the naked eye. Yang Hongwu's cultivation also increased. Tai True God Realm Level 8. In less than 2 hours, Yang Hongwu's cultivation had once again improved by another level. The dragon god glared at Li Longjin with hatred in his eyes. Why? Was this part of your plan as well? Yes. Li Longjin looked at the dragon god. There was no pity in his eyes, and he had no intention of stopping. After suppressing the dragon god's soul, he slowly extracted his soul energy and fused it with Yang Hongwu's body and soul, making Yang Hongwu even stronger. Who is he? Did you plot against me because of him? The dragon god looked at Yang Hongwu and then at Li Longjin. He was unwilling to accept his fate, but there was nothing he could do. He is the emperor, Li Longjin said. The emperor? The dragon god was stunned at first. Then his eyes flashed with shock. Which emperor are you talking about? The emperor was not the so-called emperor. He was not the emperor who was above the divine emperor. The dragon god knew this very well. That imperial emperor was the first person who had broken through the shackles of the godly emperor realm. He was called an imperial emperor because he had created a new layer above the godly emperor realm. That's why he was called an imperial emperor. It was an honorific title for that person. Impossible. If he is the emperor, how can he be so weak? It is said that the emperor has already broken the limit and entered the supreme gate of creation to seek the path of immortality, said the dragon god. The path of cultivation was endless. However, everyone was searching for the path of immortality. When one's cultivation reached their level, they could be said to be immortal. However, there was no way for them to be immortal. There was no way for them to be immortal. Back then, the emperor was extremely powerful. He was the first person who broke the shackles of the divine emperor realm and entered a new level. Since then, everyone knew that the divine emperor realm was not the limit of cultivation. There was a higher level above the divine emperor realm. The first level above the divine emperor realm was called the emperor realm because of the emperor. What kind of powerful existence was that? How could he become so weak? This is the truth, Li Longjin murmured. I was fortunate enough to meet the celestial emperor himself. In order to break through to a higher realm, the celestial emperor reincarnated and recultivated. As for me, I am one of his Tao protectors in this life. Protector? Protector? You are saying that you are the emperor's protector? I don't believe it. He is the emperor's reincarnation? I don't believe it either. I admit that there is a terrifying power in his body. This power is extremely strong. However, it is definitely not the power of the emperor. Who are you, Li Longjin? How could I not know? Shijia dragon god laughed loudly. Liar. You are a liar? Boy, I'm going to die here today. I am really going to die here. My soul will scatter, and I will never be able to start over again. As the saying goes, when a man is about to die, his words are kind. Let me give you a piece of advice. You have to be careful of this liar. Be careful of this Li Longjin. The art of dragon transformation from all creation is probably one of his tricks. You have to be careful now that you have cultivated his art of dragon transformation from all creation. After saying that, the West Armor Dragon Lord destroyed his own soul. His soul power turned into pure energy and fused with Yang Hongwu's spiritual consciousness. Yang Hongwu was stunned. He did not expect this to happen. Not only did Jia Dragon God give up, he even helped Yang Hongwu. Yang Hongwu obtained Jia Dragon God's soul energy and even his power of inheritance. Yang Hongwu's cultivation base rose rapidly. Tai True God Realm Level 9. Tai True God Realm Pinnacle. Chapter 1542. The theory of cause and effect, however, Shijia Dragon God's last words made Yang Hongwu suspicious. He became wary of Li Longjin. No one would help someone for no reason. Moreover, they would not ask for anything in return. Li Longjin not only gave him the Dragon Transformation Pagoda, but also helped him so much. Did he not ask for anything in return? Yang Hongwu was very suspicious. Li Longjin seemed to have seen through Yang Hongwu's thoughts. He said, Emperor, don't worry. I won't do anything to you. If I wanted to harm you, the emperor wouldn't be standing here right now. Yang Hanwu knew that this was the truth. If Li Longjin wanted to harm him, he could have done it long ago. However, it was because of this that Yang Hanwu became more suspicious. The emperor addressed him as the emperor. Then, was he really that powerful as the emperor? Even if that was the case, it was only in his previous life. Right now, he was only an expert at the peak of the Tai true God realm. He had not even reached the divine emperor realm, let alone the divine emperor realm. Senior, that's not what I meant. Yang Hongwu was a little embarrassed by Li Longjin's words. He quickly shook his head and said, Senior, that's not what I meant. There's no need to say more. It's natural for the emperor to be suspicious of me. After all, I have the potential to be a threat to the emperor. Moreover, if it were anyone else in this situation, they would be suspicious. Even if I was in the same situation, I would be the same. Therefore, there's no need for your emperor to say anything more. I'm really leaving this dragon world. Although the dragon world was created by the Shi Jia dragon god, it's not that simple. Now that your emperor has obtained the inheritance of the Shi Jia dragon god, you've also obtained the fate and karma of the Shi Jia dragon god. Therefore, if your emperor wants to break through the shackles and enter the divine emperor realm, your emperor needs to understand the karma left behind by the Shi Jia dragon god. Otherwise, your emperor will only be stuck at the peak of the Tai true god realm and won't be able to improve. Li Longjin didn't care about Yang Hongwu's explanation. He was like a wise man who could see through everything. There was nothing that he didn't know. After saying that, Li Longjin turned into specks of starlight and disappeared into the void. Yang Hongwu sighed. Although he had some doubts about Li Longjin, Yang Hongwu knew that everything that he had said was undoubtedly true. It seemed like this great cosmos wasn't as simple as it seemed. There were many things that he didn't know. Although his cultivation had already broken through to the peak of the Tai true God realm, Yang Hongwu realized that it was extremely difficult to advance from the peak of the Tai true God realm. It might be easier to advance from the Tai true God realm to the half-step Sir God realm. However, breaking the shackles between the Tai true God realm and the Sir God realm was extremely difficult. Could it be that he really had to end the karma of the Shi Jia dragon god? At the thought of this, Yang Hongwu felt a headache coming on. What exactly was the karma of the Shi Jia dragon god? What kind of karma was there? How could he get rid of it? All of this was a huge problem. At the thought of this, Yang Hongwu felt a headache coming on. Yang Hongwu hit his head and sighed. He had thought that he had obtained an opportunity. He didn't expect that there would be karma attached to it. If he didn't get rid of this karma, he wouldn't be able to break through. He was extremely unlucky. Originally, it wouldn't be difficult for Yang Hongwu to break through. At the most, he could activate his Dharma Eye of Annihilation and destroy a small cosmos. That way, breaking through would be much easier. However, this time, although his cultivation had reached the peak of the Tai true God realm, he still owed a karma. Karma was as vague as fate. However, Yang Hongwu had to admit that karma existed. It was just like in the untainted three realms. Back then, the two Buddha lords, Jin and Junti, made a great promise to become saints. However, they owed a huge amount of karma. It was like borrowing something and returning it. As for karma, there was a cause and there was an effect. Forget it. Let's not think too much. Anyway, it's good that I've broken through. As for karma, I'll think about it later. What I need to do now is to find the Dragon Gate fragment. Yang Hongwu took a deep breath and left. In the outside world, at this moment, the entire dragon world was in an uproar. The Holy Dragon War realm was destroyed. Other than a few people, everyone else was killed. As for those that were still alive, they spoke of everything that had happened. The people who had died were all killed by a genius called Hongwu from Shug City. According to their judgment, the destruction of the sacred dragon battle territory was most likely closely related to Hongwu. Even the Dragon Emperor was frowning. Hongwu was very special. As the Dragon Emperor, he naturally felt it. However, he did not stop at that time. Now, when the Holy Dragon War realm was destroyed, he realized that Yang Hongwu's aura had disappeared. However, he did not die. This was because he felt an aura in the sacred ground of the dragons. It was not the holy dragon pond or the dragon-raising pond, but the depths of the holy dragon pond. As the dragon emperor, he knew a little about the secrets of the dragon's sacred ground. There was a huge secret in the sacred ground of the dragons. It was the inheritance of the dragon world's master. If one had amazing talent and collected all the genius tokens in the Holy Dragon War realm, they would be sent to the inheritance ground. Yang Hanwu had probably obtained all the genius tokens and was sent to the inheritance ground. However, he did not expect the Holy Dragon War realm to be destroyed. It was a great opportunity to obtain the inheritance of that person. Could he be the tribulation taker of the great tribulation of heaven and earth? Could he resolve the great tribulation of heaven and earth? Yang Hanwu did not know what was happening outside. At this moment, Yang Hanwu was looking for the Dragon Gate fragments. With the Dragon Gate as a guide and without any suppression, Yang Hanwu quickly sensed the location of the Dragon Gate fragments. In a flash, Yang Hanwu appeared in front of a valley. This valley was unusual. The entire valley was shrouded in a mysterious power. This was a natural array. It was because of this array that the Dragon Gate was sealed within. Yang Hanwu looked at the array before him and sighed in his heart. This array was definitely not set up by someone. It was a natural array formed after the Dragon Gate fragment fell here. Chapter 1543. Passing on the throne, buzz buzz. At this moment, the Dragon Gate buzzed as if it knew that Yang Hanwu had arrived and it could leave. All right, I'll let you out. Yang Hanwu moved his mind and punched out. The punch instantly shattered the entire formation. If it was someone else, not to mention one punch, even if it was 10 or 100 punches, it would still be impossible to shatter this formation. Therefore, Yang Hanwu was able to break the formation so easily because Yang Hanwu's punch contained the power of the formation. It was the power of the law that could break the formation. This was also the reason why Yang Hanwu was able to refine the formation-breaking pill. The reason why the formation-breaking pill could break the formation was that the refined pill contained the special power of the law. This special power of the law was condensed in the pill. Therefore, when the pill was used, the power of the law would burst out and break the formation. Yang Hanwu did not comprehend it in the past. Now that Yang Hanwu's cultivation had improved tremendously, Yang Hanwu comprehended the power of the law to break the formation. In fact, it was the law of break. The power of the law was extremely mysterious. Not only could it break the formation, but it could also break the restriction. As long as Yang Hanwu's comprehension of a law reached a certain level, he could break any formation or restriction. He did not even need to study the formation. He did not need to know what kind of law the formation contained or what kind of law it contained. After the formation was broken, a golden light rushed out. It was a golden dragon. After the golden dragon came out, it merged with Yang Hanwu's body. It merged with the Dragon Gate in Yang Hanwu's body. Yang Hanwu took a deep breath. This was a pleasant surprise for Yang Hanwu. Yang Hanwu could clearly feel the changes in the Dragon Gate. At this moment, the Dragon Gate had become stronger. At this moment, the Dragon Gate had already surpassed the Dragonization Pagoda. Its power had increased by more than just a little. The Dragon Gate had even given birth to a trace of consciousness. Although it was only a trace, it meant that the Dragon Gate could give birth to an artifact spirit. The ancient Dragon's Gate was a supreme treasure to begin with. Naturally, it had a weapon spirit. However, due to the powerful impact, the Dragon's Gate was shattered and the weapon spirit of the Dragon's Gate was completely obliterated. Without the weapon spirit, the Dragon's Gate's power was far weaker than when it had the weapon spirit. The difference between a treasure with and without an artifact spirit was like the difference between heaven and earth. Especially for a treasure like the Dragon Gate that had an inner world, it was even more different. If a supreme treasure like the Dragon Gate had developed a consciousness, then its consciousness would be like the heavenly Tao in its inner world. If a world had the heavenly Tao, then that world would have limitless potential and could continue to grow. It was the same as cultivation. If it didn't have the heavenly Tao and only had the will of heaven and earth, then it would be much weaker. It wouldn't be able to cultivate on its own and could only devour the spiritual chi in the void to improve itself. Therefore, the difference between a treasure with and without an artifact spirit was huge. After obtaining the Dragon Gate fragment, Yang Hongwu was sent to the sacred grounds of the dragons. A consciousness appeared in front of Yang Hongwu. This will took the form of a human figure. After seeing who it was, Yang Hongwu squinted his eyes. It wasn't anyone else but the Dragon Emperor. Dragon Emperor, young man, you're not bad. I didn't expect you to obtain the inheritance of the Dragon God. The Dragon Emperor looked at Yang Hongwu and said, I'm jealous. The inheritance of the Dragon God? Yang Hongwu was stunned for a moment before he understood. The Dragon God that the Dragon Emperor was talking about should be the Dragon God of West Armor. Looking at the Dragon Emperor's expression, he was definitely jealous. Could it be that the Dragon Emperor wanted to snatch the inheritance of the Dragon God of West Armor from him? In fact, although the inheritance of the Dragon God of West Armor wasn't complete, it was still something that he had obtained. After all, when the Dragon God of West Armor was completely destroyed, he had given all his power to Lin Fan. However, the power was still consumed. Moreover, the Dragon God of West Armor was severely injured at that time, and his memory was fragmented. If it was someone else, they would feel that it was a pity. However, to Yang Hongwu, it wasn't a big deal. He didn't care about the inheritance anymore. Although the Dragon God of West Armor was good, he was still inferior to Li Longjin. However, looking at the Dragon Emperor, it seemed like he really wanted the inheritance of the Dragon God of West Armor. What's wrong? The Dragon Emperor wants the inheritance? Yang Hongwu looked at the Dragon Emperor and asked. The Dragon Emperor's eyes were filled with greed. However, the greed quickly disappeared and his eyes became clear again. Seeing this, Yang Hongwu couldn't help but nod his head. This guy's state of mind was pretty good. He actually recovered so quickly. If it was someone else, they would have already fallen into the devil's path. The realm above the divine emperor realm was something that everyone dreamed of. Even if the other party's cultivation had surpassed the divine emperor realm and was at the same level as the Dragon God of West Armor, he was still very coveted. As the saying goes, a stone from another mountain can be used to polish a jade. Of course I want it. I have been stuck in this realm for countless years, and there are no signs of a breakthrough. Therefore, if I can obtain the inheritance of the Dragon God of West Armor, I will definitely be able to reach a higher level. However, the inheritance isn't something that can be obtained just because I want it. It's your opportunity to obtain the inheritance of the Dragon God of West Armor. If I were to forcefully obtain it, I might not be able to obtain it. The Dragon Emperor sighed. However, now that you have obtained the inheritance, you can say that you are the ruler of the Dragon World. The position of the Dragon Emperor will be given to you. Prepare yourself well. I will pass the position of the Dragon Emperor to you in 3 days' time. Yang Hongwu was completely stunned by the Dragon Emperor's words. What's going on? The Dragon Emperor actually wants to give up his position? Isn't this too much of a joke? Just because I have obtained the inheritance of the Dragon God of West Armor? Dragon Emperor, are you joking with me? Passing the position of the Dragon Emperor to me? This joke isn't funny at all. Yang Hongwu rolled his eyes and said. He didn't care about the Dragon Emperor. Moreover, he had obtained the Dragon Gate fragment and the Dragon Transformation Pagoda. More importantly, he had obtained the Divine Tree of Creation. These 3 things were incomparably precious. If this news were to spread, perhaps those reclusive old antiques would go crazy. Of course not. Why? Yang Hongwu felt that the Dragon Emperor didn't seem to be lying. He was really curious and asked. Chapter 1544. Abandoning the inheritance. This is karma. If you don't end this karma, it will be difficult for you to break through again, said the Dragon Emperor. Is that so? Yang Hongwu chuckled. What if I destroy the Dragon World? You. The Dragon Emperor was startled by Yang Hongwu's words. Then he smiled and said, No, you won't do that. Haha, you're not me. How do you know that I won't do that? I don't mind telling you that I have the strength to do so. Yang Hongwu looked at the Dragon Emperor and laughed. In fact, Yang Hongwu really wanted to destroy the Dragon World. After obtaining the Dharma Eye of Annihilation, Yang Hongwu had the urge to destroy the world. This urge was suppressed by Yang Hongwu, But it was undeniable that this emotion would appear from time to time. Only by destroying the world could the Dharma, eye of annihilation, grow stronger. You're not an evil person. You won't destroy the world. Moreover, you don't have the strength to do so now. If you can surpass the Divine Emperor realm, you might be able to destroy the Dragon world. However, you're far from enough now, said the Dragon Emperor. You're right. My current strength isn't enough to destroy this world. However, the Great Tribulation has arrived. Even though I can't destroy the Dragon world, isn't borrowing the power of the Great Tribulation one way to deal with it when it's about to arrive? Perhaps the destruction of the Dragon world is a good thing for me? Yang Hongwu's lips curled into a smile. He wanted to see if the Dragon Emperor could remain calm. Yang Hongwu was unhappy that the Dragon Emperor was threatening him. What karma? What a joke. Even if there was karma, it was only in this world. If he left this world, would the Dragon Emperor's karma still be able to bind him? Who was he? If he was bound by mere karma, how could he become a supreme expert? How could he stand at the peak of the universe and become the supreme being? After figuring this out, Yang Hongwu's aura suddenly changed. He had a breakthrough. Half-step Divine Emperor. Impossible, you actually broke through. Half-step Divine Sovereign. How is this possible? The Dragon Monarch's eyes widened when he saw Yang Hongwu breaking through in front of him. He could feel the immense power of karma from Yang Hongwu's body. This was the karma he owed the Dragon Monarch. Now, Yang Hongwu hadn't done anything, but his power of karma had been weakened. Moreover, he had broken through the bottleneck of the peak of the primordial true God realm and entered the half-step Divine Lord realm in an instant. Logically speaking, he could indeed break through to the realm of half-step Divine Lord, but it absolutely would not be done so easily. However, the situation before him left him at a loss. He was the Dragon Monarch, and he had the destiny of the Dragon realm on him. Originally, when he saw Yang Hongwu obtain the Dragon Monarch's inheritance, he was enveloped in the power of cause and effect. As long as Yang Hongwu grew up, he would become the ruler of the Dragon world. At the same time, he had to bear the responsibility of protecting the Dragon realm. In fact, the Dragon Emperor himself also wanted to obtain the Dragon Monarch's inheritance and become the master of the Dragon world, but he couldn't do it. He couldn't obtain the recognition of the Dragon Monarch. In fact, every generation of the Dragon Monarch was a person who possessed supreme destiny, but none of them could obtain the recognition of the Dragon Monarch. Therefore, they couldn't obtain the Dragon Monarch's inheritance. When he saw Yang Hongwu obtain the inheritance, he had a trace of greed. He even had an impulse to kill Yang Hongwu and seize the Dragon Monarch's inheritance. However, he didn't do so in the end, because Yang Hongwu had already inherited the Dragon Monarch's inheritance and obtained his destiny, which was the destiny of the entire Dragon world. He was the son of destiny of the Dragon world. Unless he was destroyed in the Dragon world, it was absolutely impossible to kill him. Even if he succeeded in killing him, he would suffer a huge backlash and be punished by the heavenly punishment. Under such circumstances, it was simply a dead end. Unless one's cultivation was exceedingly high and had broken through the shackles, surpassing the Divine Emperor realm, otherwise, one would be courting death if they dared to kill him. You want to obtain the inheritance? Yang Hongwu looked at the Dragon Monarch and said, I was just joking with you. I have broken through and you have contributed to it. Therefore, if you want the inheritance, I will give it to you. After saying that, Yang Hongwu's mind moved and a mass of information was condensed into a jade slip of inheritance. This jade slip of inheritance was condensed by Yang Hongwu using the memory of the West Armor Dragon Monarch. The inheritance of the West Armor Dragon Monarch was dispensable to Yang Hongwu, so it didn't matter if he gave it to the Dragon Monarch. After all, the Dragon Monarch had just solved a huge problem for him. Without his help, it wouldn't be easy for him to comprehend this. Who knew how long it would take? Taking a step back, if he gave the inheritance of the West Armor Dragon Monarch to the Dragon Monarch, it could be considered as repaying the Dragon Monarch's kindness. Of course, it was also repaying the West Armor Dragon Monarch's kindness. You are really willing to give me the inheritance of the Dragon Monarch? Looking at the jade slip of inheritance in Yang Hongwu's hand, the dragon monarch's eyes widened in disbelief. This was the inheritance of the dragon monarch. How precious was this thing? It was more precious than any treasure in the entire dragon world. No matter who it was, divine emperor, demon emperor, or him, any divine emperor in the 6 realms would definitely pay any price to obtain this jade slip of inheritance. Even their emperors would do the same. In their eyes, the emperors were just a position and some power. If they could obtain the inheritance of the emperor realm, they would have the hope of breaking through the shackles of the emperor realm and become a powerful existence. That's right, Yang Hongwu said, I don't care about this so-called inheritance. To me, it is useless. Only the most suitable for me is the best. The inheritance of the West Armor Dragon Monarch is not the most suitable for me. Moreover, my goal is not only to reach the West Armor Dragon Monarch realm. That's a great ambition. The Dragon Monarch didn't lose his mind. Instead, he looked at Yang Hongwu. The Dragon Monarch admired Yang Hongwu's way of doing things and his ambition. He didn't even care about the inheritance of the Dragon Monarch. How ambitious was he? One should know that the Dragon Monarch's cultivation was only at the half-step Divine Monarch realm. He was still very far away from the Divine Emperor realm. In this world, the half-step Divine Monarch realm was considered not bad. However, such a cultivation was not even enough to become a city lord. At most, it was equivalent to a general of a city. Chapter 1545. An emperor-level dragon pearl tainted with demonic qi. Just tell me, do you want this inheritance? Yang Hongwu looked at the dragon emperor and said, I think many people are interested in it. What do you want? The dragon emperor looked at Yang Hongwu and asked. He was indeed tempted. He wasn't trying to snatch it, but it was a trade. Therefore, the dragon emperor didn't have any psychological burden. If you have an emperor-level dragon pearl, you can give it to me. Yang Hongwu said, Of course, if you have the dragon transformation pagoda and dragon gate fragments, you can give them to me. I need them. Dragon transformation pagoda and dragon gate fragments? Hearing this, the dragon emperor squinted his eyes. The dragon transformation pagoda and dragon gate are the most precious treasures of us dragons. They have long disappeared. If you need them, could it be that you have obtained the remnants of the dragon transformation pagoda and dragon gate fragments? That's not something you need to consider. Yang Hongwu said. He wasn't worried that the dragon emperor would be greedy. If this guy was a greedy person, he would have attacked him just now and snatched the dragon god's inheritance. Yang Hongwu could see clearly that the dragon emperor wanted these 2 things very much. I don't have the fragments of the dragon transformation pagoda and dragon gate, but I do have an emperor-level dragon pearl. The dragon emperor looked at Yang Hongwu and said, However, this emperor-level dragon pearl is tainted with demonic qi. It's impossible to refine it. If you don't have a strong mind, you will be demonized just by getting close to this dragon pearl. It's fine, Yang Hongwu said. For me, as long as it's an emperor-level dragon pearl, it's fine. Nothing else matters. All right, the dragon emperor said to Yang Hongwu, Come with me. Yang Hongwu wasn't afraid that the dragon emperor would play any tricks, so he followed. A ray of light flashed, and Yang Hongwu and the dragon emperor were teleported to a palace. This palace was the dragon emperor's palace. Unexpectedly, there weren't any guards in the imperial palace of the dragon emperor. There were only a few people who were just some maids. Yang Hongwu didn't even notice the dragon emperor's harem. He was very surprised. Why? Do you find it strange? The dragon emperor looked at Yang Hongwu and asked, Do you feel that my place is too quiet? That's right. Yang Hongwu nodded. As an emperor, you don't even have a concubine? It really surprised me. Ha! When the dragon emperor heard this, he laughed out loud and said, I don't need a woman. Moreover, if a cultivator is swayed by emotions, he will lose the opportunity to reach the peak. My goal is to become the supreme emperor, not to waste time on love. When Yang Hongwu heard this, he shook his head and said, This way of thinking is wrong. What do martial artists cultivate for? Wasn't it all for a better life? What's the point of living? The dragon emperor was stunned for a moment and then said, To pursue the eternal great Tao, to pursue the supreme fortune. Yang Hongwu rolled his eyes when he heard that. This guy has a problem with his brain. Can a mere love affair compare to the importance of comprehending the supreme grand Tao and supreme fortune? Little guy, your talent is extraordinary. Moreover, you are the person chosen by the Dragon Emperor. I hope you won't be swayed by love and delay your best cultivation time. You're still young. If you reach my age, you would have already comprehended the supreme great Tao. The Dragon Emperor looked at Yang Hongwu and said. Yang Hongwu didn't answer. Is there something wrong with this guy's body? Yang Hongwu thought. After a while, Yang Hongwu entered a secret vault under the Dragon Emperor's lead. This is my secret vault. Most of my treasures are placed here. The Dragon Pearl that you need is also here. Except for the Dragon Pearl, you can take anything you like. The Dragon Emperor said to Yang Hongwu, What if I want to take everything here? Yang Hongwu asked, That won't do. This is the foundation of the dragons. However, if you're willing to accept the position of Dragon Emperor, you can take everything here. The Dragon Emperor said, Thanks. However, this position of Dragon Monarch is best left to you. Furthermore, I'm merely a half-step divine Lord Martial Artist. The position of Dragon Monarch, I can't shoulder it. Yang Hongwu shook his head and said, This is not a problem. With me around, no one will dare to disobey me. The Dragon Emperor said, Be a puppet? Yang Hongwu shook his head. That's even more inappropriate. I hate being a puppet the most. Of course not. If you are the Dragon Emperor, I will respect you. The entire dragon world will also respect you. The Dragon Emperor said, Moreover, it's only a matter of time before your talent surpasses mine. The premise is that you are willing to cultivate diligently and not be confused by external things. When Yang Hongwu heard this, he mocked, What's the point of not being confused by external things? Being a cultivation madman who only knows how to cultivate? When you're strong enough, you can do whatever you want. Forget it. Yang Hongwu waved his hand and said, Where is the Dragon Pearl? Give me the Dragon Pearl. I want to leave this world. You want to leave the dragon world? To the human world? The divine world? Or somewhere else? The Dragon Emperor was stunned. The great calamity has already begun. The dragon world is in danger. I don't want to get involved in this mess. Yang Hongwu shook his head. I naturally have a place to go. You don't have to worry about it. What do you know? The Dragon Emperor frowned and looked at Yang Hongwu. What can I know? Lord Dragon Emperor, don't you know everything that I know? Yang Hongwu said. The Dragon Emperor stopped and looked at Yang Hongwu. He said in a serious tone, In addition to obtaining the Dragon Monarch's inheritance, you should know something else. Can you tell me? Moreover, whether you admit it or not, you have obtained great benefits from the Dragon Monarch. When you entered the sacred dragon battle realm, your cultivation had not reached the peak of the primordial true god realm. Moreover, the dragon bloodline in your body is much stronger than when you just entered. If I'm not wrong, you should have obtained the Dragon Monarch's bloodline power. Therefore, if the calamity of the dragon world happens, you can't escape. Even if you don't provoke them, they will still come looking for you. No one can find the place where I go. Yang Hongwu said. The Dragon Emperor couldn't help but sigh. Young man, your thinking is too simple. Some things are not what you think. The Dragon Emperor came in front of a stone door that was covered with restrictions and gently tapped it. The stone door opened. It was filled with a faint demonic aura and a dragon's aura. There was only one box in the room. This box was also covered with powerful restrictions and runes. The demonic aura and dragon's aura were released from this box. Chapter 1546. Demonic Tribulation. It's just a strand of demonic will. I don't care about it. Yang Hongwu said, This strand of demonic will is extremely terrifying. Even I don't dare to touch that dragon pearl. Once you touch it, it will trigger demonic will during cultivation and give birth to a heart demon. At that time, you will fall into the demonic path when you cultivate. It's only a matter of time. Therefore, you must never open the box. It won't be too late to deal with this dragon pearl when you're strong enough. The Dragon Emperor looked at Yang Hongwu and said in a serious tone, I know. Yang Hongwu said, Hearing Yang Hongwu's words, the Dragon Emperor knew that Yang Hongwu didn't care about his words at all. This made the Dragon Emperor furious. Brat, I'm telling you, you must never open the box. Yang Hongwu's behavior made the Dragon Emperor very worried. After all, Yang Hongwu was the Dragon Monarch's chosen successor. If it wasn't for the fact that he couldn't bear to part with the Dragon Monarch's inheritance, he wouldn't be willing to exchange the Dragon Pearl for it. After all, it was too dangerous. Looking at the Dragon Emperor's serious expression, Yang Hongwu didn't care about it all. Demon, what kind of demon could cause his demonic will to grow and become uneasy? His devouring furnace could devour everything. Not to mention a mere demonic will, even if a real demon appeared, it could easily devour it. Dragon Emperor, I'll give you a piece of advice. There's a teleportation formation in this sacred ground. This teleportation formation has been sealed by my formation. However, it won't be long before my formation loses its effect. Yang Hongwu said to the Dragon Emperor. After all, the Dragon Emperor had warned him many times after exchanging the Dragon Pearl with him. He was worried that he would be demonized and suffer chi deviation. Moreover, Yang Hongwu could see that the Dragon Emperor was doing this for his own good. Therefore, he reminded him, after all, that formation was connected to the demonic world. Moreover, the strength of the demonic world's demon was quite terrifying. Yang Hongwu could feel that the demon was stronger than the Dragon Emperor. Formation? Teleportation array? How is that possible? The Dragon Emperor was stunned for a moment before he shook his head in disbelief. However, looking at Yang Hongwu's calm demeanor, it didn't seem like he was lying, so it was likely that he was telling the truth. What formation is this? My consciousness entered the formation. On the other side of the formation is the Devil Realm. I don't know if that person is the Devil Emperor, but I'm sure that he's stronger than you. Yang Hongwu said, the demonic aura on his body is extremely terrifying. If it were to erupt, it would be enough to cause demonic aura to permeate the entire Dragon Realm. Stronger than me? Demonic chi permeates the entire Dragon Realm. You're not joking, are you? The Dragon Emperor's complexion changed greatly upon hearing this. If what Yang Hongwu said was true, then this matter would be troublesome. A devil who was stronger than him, and his devil chi could penetrate the entire dragon world. If he were to erupt, then the entire dragon world would be plunged into a bloody storm. At that time, no one knew how many people would die in the battle. The people were plunged into misery and suffering. It's up to you to believe it or not, Yang Hongwu said. Where's the formation? Although the Dragon Emperor didn't believe it, this matter was too important. If he didn't get to the bottom of it, it would be troublesome if it was true. Although he knew that the great calamity had already begun, he didn't think that it would start in the dragon world. This great calamity was a great calamity of the world. The entire 6 worlds would fall into the great calamity. Generally speaking, the great calamity would start in the human world, and the divine world and dragon world would be the last places to be affected. However, they had to be on guard. After all, this great calamity was the most powerful calamity in history. Even divine emperors would be implicated and might even die. Therefore, this was the most terrifying thing. The Sacred Dragon Battle Realm. Now that the Sacred Dragon Battle Realm has collapsed, my formation is still there, Yang Hongwu said. Dragon Emperor, please follow me. Yang Hongwu led the Dragon Emperor to the place where the formation was originally set up. When Yang Hongwu and the Dragon Emperor arrived at the formation, the Dragon Pearl that Yang Hongwu had placed in the storage ring suddenly flew out. A huge amount of demonic chi was instantly released. Yang Hongwu and the Dragon Emperor's expression changed. Damn it, what's going on? The Dragon Emperor's face darkened when he sensed the majestic demonic chi. He quickly intertwined his hands to form seals, trying to seal the Dragon Pearl. This won't do. However, what shocked the Dragon Emperor was that the formation he had set up couldn't seal the Dragon Pearl at all. The demonic chi was even corroding his mind. If it was someone else, they would have already fallen into the demonic path. This demonic chi is too terrifying. I can't seal it alone. Boy, quickly go to the ancestral land and call all the dragon's elders here. The Dragon Emperor said loudly to Yang Hongwu while resisting the terrifying demonic chi. Dragon Emperor, let me do it, Yang Hongwu said. You do it. You're just a primordial true god. What can you do? This isn't the time to show off. Quickly go to the ancestral land of the dragons and call all the elders here," the Dragon Emperor shouted. He couldn't afford to be distracted at all. Otherwise, he could directly communicate with the dragon's elders through the power of divine ability. However, he couldn't do that now because once he was distracted, he might be corroded by the demonic chi. If that happened, it would be even more troublesome. He didn't want to fall into the demonic path. Moreover, as the Dragon Emperor, once he fell into the demonic path, the entire dragon world would be finished. Yang Hongwu was speechless. This guy actually didn't believe him. One had to know that he was a powerful array master. In this great world, no one was more powerful than him in terms of array masters. This dragon pearl was now his. He didn't check it out and allowed the demonic chi in the dragon pearl to break through his storage ring and appear here. Yang Hongwu also knew that the reason why the demonic chi in the dragon pearl was so powerful and could break through the space of his storage ring was because of the demonic realm's channel sealed by the array. Yang Hongwu had previously explored the other side of the teleportation array. There was an unparalleled great demon on the other side. His strength was extremely terrifying. The array that he had set up before wouldn't be able to withstand for long. He reckoned that the guy must have sensed that the channel was sealed by his array. Therefore, he became furious and wanted to tear the array that he had set up with a powerful force. Coincidentally, he brought the demonic chi in the dragon pearl here. The demonic chi should be related to the unparalleled great demon and resonated with him. That was why the demonic chi was so powerful. It was also because of this that the array that he had set up was so easily broken. Chapter 1547. Array Demon Sealing. Demon, you are indeed a great demon. The Dragon Emperor snorted coldly and threw a punch at the tunnel. Instantly, a powerful force erupted from the tunnel and collided with the Dragon Emperor's fist radiance, causing a huge explosion. The entire space shook as though it was about to collapse. However, it was precisely because of the Dragon Emperor's punch that the passageway was temporarily suppressed. At this moment, Yang Hongwu grabbed the Emperor Grey Dragon Pearl in his hand. The Red Lotus karmic fire burst out and incinerated the demonic chi on the Dragon Pearl. Then, he took out the devouring furnace and started devouring the energy of the Dragon Pearl. Since such a thing had happened, Yang Hongwu intended to break through the shackles and break through the bottleneck of the half-step Divine Lord Realm and enter the Divine Lord Realm. However, Yang Hongwu knew that it wouldn't be an easy task. You devoured the Dragon Pearl? Seeing Yang Hongwu fusing the Dragon Pearl into the devouring furnace and the devouring furnace into his body, the Dragon Emperor's face changed drastically. If Yang Hongwu showed any signs of turning into a demon, he would kill Yang Hongwu without hesitation. It's fine. Mere demonic chi can't erode me. Yang Hongwu didn't mind at all. He communicated with the Dragon Emperor while devouring the energy of the Dragon Pearl. What a joke. Yang Hongwu once had a true demon incarnation and the supreme devouring mark that could devour all demons. Naturally, he didn't need to worry. Mere demonic chi couldn't do anything to him. As for the invasion of the heart demon, that was simply courting death. He had the Red Lotus karmic fire and the great power of merit in his body. The heart demon wouldn't be so stupid as to invade Yang Hongwu's body. Of course, he couldn't rule out the possibility of some powerful heart demon. If it was a deity emperor realm, or even a heart demon that surpassed the deity emperor realm, it might pose a threat to Yang Hongwu. However, it would only pose a threat to him. It wouldn't pose a fatal threat to Yang Hongwu. The Dragon Emperor was furious when he saw Yang Hongwu's nonchalant manner. He snorted coldly and said, "Brat, you should be careful. If you fall into the demonic path and fall into the hands of an inner demon, I will kill you." Haha, there won't be such a chance. Moreover, if such a situation really happens, it's impossible for you to kill me. If I really fall into the demonic path, I'm afraid the entire Great Thousand Universe will be doomed. Yang Hongwu laughed out loud. The Dragon Emperor shook his head inwardly. If there was no one to suppress this lad, and he fell into the demonic path, it was very likely that this would happen. He wasn't exaggerating. This kid seemed to be both righteous and evil, but he still had a bottom line in his heart. The Dragon Emperor could see this. As the lord of a domain, he still had a discerning eye. If it were an ordinary person that swallowed an emperor-level dragon pearl that was tainted with demonic energy, it would be impossible for them to be like this. If an ordinary half-step divine lord realm martial artist dared to swallow and refine an emperor-level dragon pearl, that would be no different from courting death. This boundless energy could easily cause them to explode. However, Yang Hongwu was different. He had swallowed an emperor-level dragon pearl, and yet there hadn't been any great changes to his body. Even if he wanted to make a breakthrough, it wouldn't be easy. His mortal body and foundation were far too vigorous. The Dragon Emperor thought of the Shi Jia Dragon Lord. Perhaps it was because of the Shi Jia Dragon Lord. He had obtained the inheritance of the Shi Jia Dragon Lord. The Shi Jia Dragon Lord had laid an incomparably strong foundation for him. In the future, he could break through the shackles and become an existence that surpassed the divine emperor realm. You should leave now. Go to the ancestral land of the dragons and ask a few old ancestors to come. Although I have repelled the demon lord temporarily, I can't suppress him for long. He will come back soon. The Dragon Emperor urged Yang Hongwu. Don't worry. I will set up a formation that can suppress him for a long time. Having said that, Yang Hongwu took out a few things and began to set up a formation. Yang Hongwu's actions were extremely fast. Beams of light soared into the sky as his hands continuously formed hand seals, forming one seal after another to set up one restrictive technique after another. 30 breaths later, a formation was formed, covering an area with a circumference of 1,000 zhang. This formation was a great demon sealing formation. It's done, Yang Hongwu said to the dumbfounded Dragon Emperor. This formation is called Demon Sealing Formation. It's enough to seal this place for 3 days. After 3 days, it's hard to say what will happen. After all, the materials used to set up this formation and the formation are not powerful treasures. If there's a supreme treasure, it's enough to set up a demon sealing formation to seal this place for 10 years. You. The Dragon Emperor looked at Yang Hongwu and was almost speechless. This guy's cultivation was not high, but his attainment in the Tao of formations was terrifying. It would be impossible for him to break this formation without a few months' time. Moreover, this was the case when he was outside the formation. If he was trapped inside the formation, it would be a different story. Moreover, he said that this was a great demon sealing formation. It was a formation that was specially set up to deal with the Demon Lord. In that case, it would be even more powerful when dealing with the Demon Lord. As a result, the Dragon Emperor no longer doubted that the little guy was the tribulation taker of this tribulation of heaven and earth. Only he had the ability to do so. If a powerful formation master had enough materials to set up several powerful formations that were specially set up to deal with the Demon Lord, then the safety of the dragon world would no longer be a concern. Is this true? You are also a powerful formation master? The Dragon Emperor asked. What realm have you reached in the Tao of formations? Emperor realm? Or Emperor realm? Emperor realm? Yang Hongwu smiled and shook his head. No, far from it. Although Yang Hongwu had some understanding of the formation Tao, he knew very well that the formation Tao he had set up now would be like a piece of paper in the face of an unparalleled celestial emperor powerhouse. It was simply meaningless. The experts of the Emperor realm were too terrifying. They could easily destroy a world with a wave of their hand. However, he could not do that at all. If he was that powerful, he could easily destroy several macro worlds. Then, his cultivation would advance by leaps and bounds. The formations I set up are not enough to deal with the experts of the divine Emperor realm. It's impossible to deal with the experts of the Emperor realm. Chapter 1548. Crossing the void. Yang Hongwu couldn't help but smile when he heard the Dragon Emperor's praise. Lord Dragon Emperor, you flatter me. I'm still far from it. Although I have some experience in the Tao of formations, I know that I'm nothing compared to those top experts in the field of formations. Yang Hongwu was proud of himself. After all, his attainments in the field of formations were definitely one of the best. At the very least, no one at his age and cultivation was stronger than him. If I give you a supreme treasure, can you really seal this passageway for 10 years? The Dragon Emperor looked at the sealed passageway and frowned slightly. If this passageway wasn't completely sealed, it would definitely be a disaster for the dragon world once it was completely opened. After all, the devil race had been hiding for so many years. Once they unleashed their full power, it would be no small matter. Moreover, he could sense the aura of that expert from the other side of the tunnel. It was truly too terrifying. That devil's cultivation was definitely stronger than his own. If the two of them were to fight, he would likely suffer a miserable defeat. Of course, if he comprehended the dragon god's inheritance, the outcome would be uncertain. However, how could he comprehend the dragon god's inheritance in a short period of time? This required time. 3 days was definitely not enough. Even 10 years might not be enough. However, if he had 10 years, he would be much more confident. However, a supreme treasure was also very precious to the Dragon Emperor because he only had one. If he used this supreme treasure to set up the formation and seal the passageway for 10 years, he would temporarily have no other supreme treasure to use. His strength would also fall significantly because he wouldn't be able to use the supreme treasure. However, if he used these 10 years to comprehend the dragon god's inheritance, it wouldn't be as good as using the supreme treasure. Therefore, it was still possible to use the supreme treasure as the formation core to set up the formation. In exchange for 10 years, it was worth it. Although he knew that Yang Hongwu also had a supreme treasure, he knew that it was unlikely for Yang Hongwu to use it to set up the formation. If Yang Hongwu was willing to do so, he would have used the supreme treasure as the formation core from the beginning. 10 years. That's the minimum. Yang Hongwu said, "In fact, I have enough confidence. If I have a supreme treasure, I can seal this passageway for at least 15 years. After 15 years, if I set up the formation again, I can seal it forever. However, I can't stay in this world for 15 years or even 5 years." At this time, Yang Hongwu was still constantly devouring and refining the power of the Dragon Pearl. However, what made Yang Hongwu's head hurt was that the bottleneck of the Divine Lord realm was too firm. This bottleneck seemed to have an invisible and powerful shackle that firmly imprisoned Yang Hongwu in this realm. There was no way for him to break through. Although Yang Hongwu had already broken through the karma shackles of the West Armor Dragon God, Yang Hongwu hadn't expected that the karma shackles of the West Armor Dragon God would increase the difficulty of breaking through to the Divine Lord realm. Yang Hongwu had a faint premonition that even if he completely refined the Emperor-grade Dragon Pearl, he might not be able to break through the bottleneck of the half-step Divine Lord realm and enter the first-level Divine Lord realm. This made Yang Hongwu very depressed and helpless. However, there was nothing he could do. The energy contained in the Emperor-grade Dragon Pearl was definitely sufficient. However, it seemed like he still needed an opportunity to break through the bottleneck. As for what that opportunity was, Yang Hongwu didn't have the slightest clue. Perhaps he had to leave the West Armor Dragon region and this great world to return to the common people's divine realm. Only then would he have a chance to break through. Therefore, Yang Hongwu's mind was no longer on this side of the world. In fact, he had already obtained everything he wanted: the Dragon Transformation Pagoda and the Dragon Gate Fragment. He even obtained an Emperor-grade Dragon Pearl and the Divine Tree of Creation. Each of these treasures was extremely precious. Every single one of them would be fought over by others if they were to be put out. One had to be content with what one had. Yang Hongwu had already obtained enough in this great world. Originally, Yang Hongwu wanted to take advantage of the Great World Tribulation to seize the origin source of this great world. However, after thinking about it, Yang Hongwu decided to give up. One shouldn't be too greedy. As the saying goes, contentment brings joy. The Dragon Emperor could clearly see that Yang Hongwu was very determined to leave this great world. He smiled bitterly in his heart. If he was in Yang Hongwu's shoes, he would have the same idea. After all, the Great World Tribulation this time was too terrifying. It would even affect the 6 great worlds. You want to leave the dragon world to seek refuge? I'm afraid that's impossible. The great calamity of the world will affect the 6 realms. If you leave the dragon world, you will also fall into the great calamity. There's no way to avoid it. Moreover, you have obtained the dragon monarch's power and karma. Even if you leave the dragon world, trouble will still come knocking on your door. If I'm not wrong, the great devil of the devil world should have a grudge with the dragon monarch. And since you have obtained the dragon monarch's power, he will definitely come looking for you, said Dragon Emperor. Haha, I'm not talking about the 6 great worlds, but outside of the 6 great worlds. Yang Hongwu laughed and said, Lord Dragon Emperor, you'd better be prepared. After I set up this formation for you, I will really leave. In addition, before you bring the materials, I still need to do something. After all, I have promised the city lord Su Long to resurrect his wife. As he spoke, Yang Hongwu disappeared from where he stood in a flash. Looking at the place where Yang Hongwu disappeared, the Dragon Emperor smiled bitterly in his heart. He didn't expect that the great world he was talking about was not leaving the dragon world, but leaving this great world, leaving the 6 great worlds. Could it be that he had the ability to travel through the void and enter the endless void? Could he have the ability to cross the void? No, it was absolutely impossible. His strength was far from reaching the level of crossing the void. Even as a divine emperor expert, he could only enter the void for a short period of time. How could a mere half-step divine lord expert do it? Chapter 1549. Resurrection Shug City. Yang Hongwu arrived at the city lord's mansion. Who is it? I'm here to look for the city lord. Yang Hongwu revealed his identity. The guards hurriedly welcomed Yang Hongwu in. As the guards of a city lord's mansion, they naturally recognized Yang Hongwu. He was the genius of Shug City, the person that the city lord valued the most. If the city lord knew that they stopped him, the consequences would be unimaginable. As guards, they definitely couldn't be compared to such a peerless genius. These 2 guards were quite tactful. The city lord has been waiting for a long time. One of the guards said, Yang Hongwu nodded. Bring me there. No need, Brother Hongwu. I'm already here. A voice sounded. The person who came was none other than the city lord of Shug City, Su Long City Lord. No need to be so polite. I told you to call me Su Long. Su Long held Yang Hongwu's hand with incomparable enthusiasm. Soon, Yang Hongwu was led by Su Long to a courtyard. This courtyard was very exquisite. There were many mysterious formations set up. The spiritual energy here was very abundant. It could be said that it was the place with the densest spiritual energy in the entire Shug City. I haven't congratulated you for getting first place in this year's competition, Su Long said to Yang Hongwu. It's nothing. Yang Hongwu smiled faintly. However, I'm very sorry. I wasn't able to protect Xian Yi and Bo Hai. It doesn't matter. Life and death are predestined. Moreover, these 2 people sigh. Su Long sighed. I've long seen that these 2 people have evil thoughts in their hearts. They won't be able to achieve great things. If they didn't die, I'm afraid that they would have fallen into the demonic path. Oh, that's right. Milord City Lord. May I know if Milord City Lord has managed to obtain something? I was lucky to get an Emperor-level Dragon Pearl. Su Long's lips curled up. The joy in his heart was self-evident. Brother, follow me. The 2 of them entered a secret chamber. This secret chamber was filled with traps, formations, and restrictions. It could even be said that every step was filled with killing intent. It could be seen how important this place was to Su Long. Moreover, there was a large number of guards outside. It was obvious that this was an important place. This is it, Su Long said as he opened a box. Yang Hongwu narrowed his eyes. This was indeed a dragon pearl, but it was not a true emperor-grade dragon pearl. I paid a huge price to obtain this Dragon Ball. Su Long said, for this Dragon Ball, I burned 1,000 years of my lifespan. However, it was all worth it. It was all worth it. Su Long's tone was filled with excitement. In his heart, as long as he could revive the person he loved, anything was worth it. Yang Hongwu sighed. Hearing Yang Hongwu's sigh, City Lord Su Ji's face changed, and he said, Brother, what's wrong? Could there be something wrong with this Dragon Pearl? To be honest, this Dragon Pearl is not a true Emperor-grade Dragon Pearl. It's just a pseudo-Emperor-grade Dragon Pearl. The original owner of this Dragon Pearl should only be a pseudo-divine Emperor, not a true divine emperor expert. Yang Hongwu said, is not a true emperor-grade dragon pearl. Hearing this, Su Long's face changed. He grabbed Yang Hongwu's hand tightly and said, brother, is what you said true? Then this dragon pearl is useless? Yang Hongwu's words made Su Long very nervous. He looked at Yang Hongwu as if he wanted to get some good news from Yang Hongwu. Seeing Su Long's expression, Yang Hongwu knew what he was feeling at this moment. However, brother, you don't have to worry. I still have a way to revive sister-in-law. Yang Hongwu smiled faintly. Really? Brother, you're not lying to me? Hearing this, Su Long was overjoyed and asked, you're not joking with me, right? Of course not. Yang Hongwu said, brother, you got an Emperor-grade dragon pearl? No. Although I didn't get an Emperor-grade dragon pearl, I got the inheritance of the sacred doctor of dragons and the sacred ground of dragons. In his inheritance, there's a way to save people. Yang Hongwu said, the sacred doctor of dragons. My God, brother, you actually have such a great opportunity to get the inheritance of that person. This is really shocking. Hearing Yang Hongwu's words, Su Long's eyes widened. Of course, he knew about the reputation of the sacred doctor of dragons. It was rumored that when the dragon world was created, there was an almighty who was stronger than the dragon monarch who created the dragon world. This sacred doctor of dragons had unparalleled strength and unparalleled medical skills. After the disappearance of the dragon monarch, this sacred doctor of dragons practiced medicine in the dragon world for thousands of years. Many almighties had received his help. In the past, there was a supreme expert who died in the hands of the devil Dao. However, the Saint Doctor of the Dragon Clan specially revived him because of his contribution in subduing the devil Dao. One should know that the soul of that supreme expert was destroyed, but the Saint Doctor of the Dragon Clan used heaven-defying means to revive that supreme expert. From this, one could see how powerful his means and ability were. It's just a part of the inheritance. Yang Hongwu didn't expect this sacred doctor of dragons to have such a great reputation in the dragon world. That's still amazing. Su Long said, brother, you're indeed a person with great fortune. Being on good terms with you is the best thing I've done in my life. Brother, let's not talk too much. Brother, take me to see sister-in-law. Yang Hongwu said, I don't have much time. I only have 2 days. I'll leave in 2 days. All right. Although he didn't know why Yang Hongwu wanted to leave, Su Long didn't ask. He secretly made up his mind. As long as Yang Hongwu could save the woman he loved, he would give him a supreme treasure as a reward to repay his kindness. This way. Soon, Yang Hongwu saw the woman. She was a stunning beauty. One had to admit that her beauty could topple nations. She wasn't inferior to Yuji and the other women. No wonder Su Long couldn't forget her. Do you need me to prepare anything? Su Long asked. No need. Yang Hongwu shook his head. I'll stand guard outside. Su Long said. No need. Yang Hongwu shook his head. City Lord, just watch. It won't take long. In fact, her soul hadn't dissipated. Although there was only a trace left, it wasn't too difficult for Yang Hongwu. After all, this was the dragon world. Yang Hongwu had obtained the dragon monarch's soul power and a part of the dragon world's inheritance. Although he didn't fully grasp it, he could still mobilize a part of it. Chapter 1550. Attracting Heaven's Punishment Condense. Yang Hongwu formed a seal with both of his hands. The Dragon Transformation Pagoda and the Dragon Gate condensed the Dragon Chi. Then, Yang Hongwu condensed an elixir. The Fortune Chi condensed into an elixir. After the elixir was sent into Su Long's wife's mouth, it turned into a majestic life force. The Wisp of Soul also condensed. Yang Hongwu formed another seal to condense the Wisp of Soul and send it into the body. It's almost done. There's one last obstacle left. Yang Hongwu said to Su Long after he had done all that. What obstacle? Su Long saw that his beloved woman was finally alive again. Her face was rosy. It was obvious that she had been revived and was about to wake up. How could he not be happy? Heaven's punishment. Yang Hongwu said, reversing life and death is against the heavens. The heavens will not allow it. Hence, you have to bear the power of heaven's punishment. If you can't withstand it, you'll turn into ashes. You won't even be able to reincarnate. Heaven's punishment? Su Long's face changed. What should I do? Although Su Long was powerful and had reached the peak of the false divine emperor realm, he was definitely one of the best among the false divine emperors. However, he had no confidence in facing heaven's punishment. After all, it was heaven's punishment. Don't worry. Since I've made my promise, I can handle heaven's punishment. Brother, don't worry. Watch me resist heaven's punishment. Yang Hongwu said, How can I? Brother, you're saving my wife for me. How can I let you resist heaven's punishment for me? I will resist heaven's punishment alone. No one can stop me, not even the heavens. Then, Su Long's eyes were filled with intense battle intent, as if he could fight against the heavens and the earth. Brother, you don't have to do this. It's not like I haven't encountered heaven's punishment before. It's nothing to me. On the contrary, I'm looking forward to encountering heaven's punishment. Yang Hongwu laughed. For others, heaven's punishment is a terrifying existence that cannot be resisted. However, for me, heaven's punishment is like a miraculous elixir that can help me increase my cultivation. My cultivation technique, art, is very special. It's very difficult to increase my cultivation level divine emperor realm. It is heaven's punishment, is heaven's punishment, is true divine emperor realm, is punishment, is heaven's punishment, is heaven's punishment, is heaven's punishment, is punishment, is heaven's punishment, is heaven's punishment, is heaven's punishment, is his punishment, is heaven's punishment, is true God realm. Heaven's punishment. Heaven's punishment is his punishment, is true God realm, true realm. Divine heaven's punishment contains God, is red, is ice, is heaven's punishment, is divine runes, divine realm. Heavens is run realm. Heaven's punishments, God heaven's punishment. And heaven, and heaven's punishment. Heaven's punishment, and heaven's punishment. Heaven's punishment is heaven, as heaven's God divine. Heaven's is. Therefore, Yang Hongwu was very excited about heaven's punishment. However, Yang Hongwu was worried that heaven's punishment would dissipate after sensing his aura. That would make him speechless. Therefore, Yang Hongwu purposely concealed his aura. He even used a special secret technique to change his aura. Brother, are you really confident? Hearing Yang Hongwu's words, Su Long's eyes were filled with surprise. Yang Hongwu must have a certain level of confidence. No one will be so stupid as to use heaven's punishment as a joke. After all, it was heaven's punishment. If he couldn't resist it, he would be annihilated. He wouldn't even have the chance to reincarnate. Don't worry, Yang Hongwu said. He leaped up and flew towards heaven's punishment. At this moment, the tribulation clouds in the sky had formed. A bolt of lightning struck down. The majestic power of lightning seemed to want to shatter this space. Outside the governor's mansion, the people who saw this scene were all shocked. Heaven's punishment, it's actually heaven's punishment. That's where the governor cultivates. Could it be that the governor is undergoing a tribulation? Is it going to break through to the divine emperor realm? But why would the governor attract heaven's punishment? We have to leave Shug City. Otherwise, it'll be bad if we're affected by heaven's punishment. Some people's faces changed drastically. They all thought that Su Long was breaking through. However, they didn't expect that heaven's punishment would be heaven's punishment. It was too terrifying. Damn it. Su Long actually borrowed the power of the entire Shug City to undergo a tribulation. It's heaven's punishment. Damn it. The entire Shug City wasn't just Su Long's force. There were other powerful forces in Shug City. The governor's mansion was just a part of it. There were also a few ancient families. When they saw that Su Long borrowed the power of the entire Shug City to undergo a tribulation, how could they not be angry? If heaven's punishment was powerful, the entire Shug City would be affected or even destroyed. In that case, Su Long and the entire Shug City would perish together. In their eyes, Su Long's move was too ruthless. If he succeeded, Su Long would break through and become a divine emperor. Then, he would have no opponents in Shug City. Even in the entire dragon world, he would be one of the top cultivators. His status would be lower than the dragon emperors. However, if he failed, the entire Shug city would be buried with him. This move was too ruthless. Thus, the old antiques of the other big powers in Su City gnashed their teeth in hatred towards Su Long's move. Only Su Long could do this. He was the governor of Shug City. Only he could mobilize the power of the entire Shug City. Moreover, only Su Long had the strength to break through to the Divine Emperor realm in Shug City. However, what they didn't know was that the person undergoing the tribulation wasn't Su Long at all. It was Yang Hongwu who attracted heaven's punishment. Damn it, this bastard. Does he want us to die with him this time? Suddenly, everyone noticed that the defensive formation of the entire Shug City was released. Some people who were still in the city changed their expression. Once the formation was released, everyone would be enveloped by heaven's punishment and become the target of the lightning tribulation. This made them hate Su Long to the bone. Su Long's eyes widened when he saw this scene. Although the defensive formation of Shug City was under his control, it wasn't him who activated it. Brother, you leave first. I will resist heaven's punishment. Yang Hongwu said loudly. Come, let me see how powerful heaven's punishment is. Don't disappoint me. If that's not the governor, who is it? It's Hongwu. He's the genius that the governor sent to participate in the competition. How is this possible? He attracted heaven's punishment? Everyone saw that the person who was standing in the void and facing heaven's punishment wasn't the governor, Su Long. It was Hongwu who represented Shug City to participate in the competition. They were all stunned. What kind of evil thing did he do? How did he attract heaven's punishment? Chapter 1551. Sky punishment disperses. What should we do? Evacuate. Hurry up and evacuate. I don't want to die. Let me go first. My father is a great general. Some of the hedonistic sons were crying for their parents. What a joke. This was sky punishment. Everyone was exposed to it. If sky punishment were to descend, how could they withstand it? Everyone was crazily squeezing out, wishing that they could have an extra pair of legs. Yang Hongwu noticed this, and so did Su Long. However, the two of them did not put it to heart. Yang Hongwu, on the other hand, had purposely opened the array in order to provoke divine punishment and make it even more powerful. As expected, the moment the array was opened, the power of sky punishment became even stronger. The pressure became even more terrifying, as if the entire Shug City was going to be crushed by this powerful force. Come, let me see the power of sky punishment. Yang Hongwu rushed up, and a bolt of lightning landed on his body. The majestic power of lightning was refined and absorbed by Yang Hongwu. The devouring furnace was pushed to the extreme. The Nine Heavens Divine Dragon technique was also operating crazily. Yang Hongwu's cultivation had already reached the peak of the half-step God Lord realm. The first bolt of lightning landed on Yang Hongwu, but it did not allow Yang Hongwu's cultivation to break through. Half-step God Lord realm was still a half-step God Lord realm. However, Yang Hongwu's spiritual power was tempered. Crazy. This kid is crazy. My God. He's using his physical body to withstand sky punishment. Who does he think he is? Yeah, he's audacious. Lunatic. He's a lunatic. A lunatic who doesn't care about his life. Let's go. Let's leave quickly before we get caught in the crossfire. When everyone saw how crazy Yang Hongwu was, they were shocked to the extreme. If they were caught in the crossfire of the lightning, it would be disastrous. They did not dare to go against the sky lightning head-on. They did not even dare to use treasures to protect themselves. How could they use their physical body to withstand the sky lightning? That was simply courting death. He doesn't want to live anymore. But this bastard actually wants the entire Shug City to be buried with him. Damn it, too damn it. Impossible. He can't withstand more than a few heavenly thunders. I think at most 3 heavenly thunders, and he will die. That way, Shug City's loss won't be too big. Everyone was watching Yang Hongwu's tribulation from afar, and all of them were discussing spiritedly. No, look, he's withstanding it. Not injured at all. What kind of monster is he? He can actually devour the power of lightning? What kind of cultivation technique does he have? We must obtain his cultivation technique at all costs. An old man's eyes shone with a shocking light as he coldly said, Most of the old men of the major powers didn't have much lifespan left, but they didn't dare to break through because they didn't have the slightest confidence. They wouldn't take the risk to break through unless they were at the end of their rope. They were afraid of death because they knew that once they crossed the tribulation, the chance of success was less than 1%. At this moment, Yang Hongwu was incomparably refreshed. Facing the descending heavenly tribulation, Yang Hongwu wasn't worried at all. Instead, he was filled with excitement. This madman, no wonder he dares to be so arrogant. He actually cultivated a secret technique to devour lightning. Perhaps it's because of his special physique? That's true. No matter what, we must capture him and obtain his secret. At this moment, Yang Hongwu was concentrating on resisting the heavenly tribulation and devouring the power of lightning. He didn't know that he was being targeted by all the old men of Shug City. Of course, this was nothing to Yang Hongwu. Even if he knew, he wouldn't care. It was fine if it didn't provoke him, but if anyone dared to make a move on him, then he would have to bear the terrifying price. Su Long noticed the situation around him. He couldn't help but sigh. How could he not know the thoughts of those old men in Shug City? However, no matter what, Han Wu was doing this for him. If he was targeted by those old men, then he would naturally have to help him solve this problem. Those who dared to go against Han Wu were his enemies. His enemies would not rest until he was dead. Su Long's eyes emitted a cold light, and a terrifying, murderous intent burst out. As a city lord, Su Long's strength was naturally terrifying. In Shug City, even if a true divine emperor expert came, he wouldn't be able to gain any advantage in a short time. After Yang Hongwu devoured a few heavenly tribulations, a huge eye appeared in the sky. This huge eye stared at Yang Hongwu as if it wanted to see through Yang Hongwu. The eye of heaven's punishment has appeared. That's the eye of heaven's punishment. He's dead. This time, he's really dead. That's right. He dares to provoke the heavenly tribulation and draw out the heavenly punishment. He's courting death. Since ancient times, not many people have been able to survive in front of the eye of heaven's punishment. However, something happened that surprised everyone. The eye of heaven's punishment looked at Yang Hongwu for a while and unexpectedly escaped. The tribulation cloud of heaven's punishment also disappeared. Yang Hongwu's eyes widened when he saw this scene. Mother Asterisker, this heavenly punishment actually left just like that? Isn't this too cowardly? Is this the heavenly punishment? Could it be that what he encountered just now was a fake heavenly punishment? How could it be? The heavenly punishment disappeared? This doesn't make sense. Who the hell is he? Illusion? It must be an illusion. I think so too. No, it can't be an illusion. The power of the heavenly punishment lightning tribulation is clearly still there. There are traces of the heavenly punishment's power in the void. An old antique said, "That's right. Don't act rashly." Seeing this scene, everyone was puzzled. Only Su Long was happy because he could feel that his wife, the person he loved the most, was about to wake up. She was coming back from the dead. She was truly coming back from the dead. In contrast to Su Long's overjoyed mood, Yang Hongwu was extremely depressed. The heavenly punishment had disappeared. He felt that if he were to have a dozen more heavenly punishment lightning tribulations, he would be able to break through the shackles of the half-step divine Lord realm. However, the heavenly punishment had disappeared at this time. Without the power of the heavenly punishment lightning tribulations to break through the shackles in his body, he was unable to break through. This was simply infuriating to the extreme. It was as if the power was suddenly cut off when you were having fun playing a game. Damn heavenly Tao, where's the heavenly punishment? Why don't you come out? Come out! Yang Hongwu roared loudly. Just as Yang Hongwu was shouting and roaring at the sky, the old antiques of Shug City moved. Their figures seemed to have turned into lightning and quickly rushed toward Yang Hongwu. Their speed was astonishingly fast. Each and every one of them wanted to capture Yang Hongwu and seize his secret of resisting the lightning tribulations. Chapter 1552. Killing Array, City Lord Su Long. Move away. We're looking for the person who didn't care about the life and death of our city. He dared to undergo the heavenly tribulation in Sui Ga City. He doesn't care about the life and death of everyone. He wants to destroy Suega City. Therefore, he must pay the price. Even if you're the city lord, you can't stop us, said an old man. That's right. Su Long, I respect you as the city lord of Suega City. I don't want to fight with you. Quickly leave. If you don't blame us for being impolite, said another half-step divine emperor coldly. They were still afraid of Su Long's strength. Moreover, in Shug City, Su Long was the city lord after all. He controlled the formation of the entire city. Once he mobilized the power of Shug City, they were no match for him at all. Otherwise, they would have already seized the position of Shug City city lord. How could Su Long be the city lord? It was precisely because the position of Shug City city lord could not be seized by force that they had no choice but to submit to Su Long. They could only watch Su Long's strength increase and surpass them. City lord, are you going to protect a person who almost destroyed Suega City? That's right, city lord. Suega City doesn't belong to you alone. It belongs to all of us. You know that we almost died under the heavenly punishment. Kill him. We must kill him. Everyone, let's do it together. Su Long's face darkened. What happened just now really scared him. However, to Su Long, Han Wu was his great benefactor. He couldn't let anything happen to him. Do you really want to go against me? Han Wu is one of my men. I won't allow anyone to harm him. Anyone who dares to touch Brother Han Wu is my enemy, Su Long said coldly. Looks like City Lord, Your Excellency, refuses to come to your senses. I wonder if City Lord, Your Excellency, can withstand so many of us? Bo Xian looked at Su Long and said coldly. Bo Xian was the patriarch of the Bo clan. He was extremely strong. He was also Bo Hai's grandfather. However, Bo Hai was too weak at that time. Therefore, he turned a blind eye when Bo Hai was expelled from Suega City. To Bo Xian, the Bo clan needed geniuses and experts, not trash. Even though Bo Hai was his biological grandson, he was destined to be a good-for-nothing if his talent and bloodline were not good enough. The Bo family did not need good-for-nothings. Bo Xian, do you want to fight me? Said Su Long coldly. A cold light shot out from his eyes. That year, when they were fighting for the position of the great lord of the city, Bo Xian was his rival. Later on, if it wasn't because he didn't want to see Su Gucheng's strength deteriorate, he would have already attacked Bo Xian. After all, Bo Xian was a half-step divine emperor. He was only a little bit away from becoming a fake divine emperor. In fact, Bo Xian's strength was very strong, almost comparable to a false divine emperor expert. If he hadn't obtained the position of city lord, he might not have been able to win against Bo Xian. Brother, let me deal with him. You go and take care of sister-in-law, said Yang Hongwu angrily as he flashed and appeared beside Su Long. This time, Yang Hongwu originally wanted to make a breakthrough. As long as there were a dozen more lightning strikes, he would be able to make a breakthrough. However, just as he was about to make a breakthrough, the lightning tribulation retreated. How could Yang Hongwu not be angry? He had no place to vent his anger, but these idiots dared to cause trouble for him. They were simply courting death. Yang Hongwu's body emitted a terrifying murderous aura. This murderous aura enveloped the entire Suega City. Some of the weaker cultivators felt the terrifying murderous aura and trembled. Brother, how can I do that? They are very strong. This time, you're helping me, which is why something like this happened. How can I let you bear it alone? Su Long shook his head and said with a very firm tone, if anyone dares to attack Hongwu, it means that they are going against me. They are my mortal enemy. Brother, don't worry. They don't have the strength to deal with me. They're just a few half-step divine emperors. I don't put them in my eyes. Yang Hongwu smiled faintly. Yang Hongwu's smile was emitting a terrifying murderous aura. This murderous aura seemed to be able to freeze this part of the world. It was terrifying to the extreme. Damn it, where did this kid come from? He actually has such a terrifying murderous aura. God, he's a devil. How many people does he have to kill to have such a terrifying murderous aura? The weaker cultivators were trembling in front of this terrifying murderous aura. Ninth Heaven Killing Formation, rise. Yang Hongwu shouted. The entire Suega City was covered by a formation. This formation was made by Yang Hongwu, based on the original formation of Suega City. Sugu City was the eye of the formation. Su Long felt the change in Sugu City, and his expression changed. Sugu City was out of control. He looked at Yang Hongwu and was extremely shocked. Suddenly, he understood something terrifying. The reason why Shug City's array formation was opened was probably because of Hongwu. He was the one who completely opened the defense of Shug City. Terrifying, too terrifying. No wonder he had obtained the inheritance of the Holy Doctor of the Dragons. No wonder he could resist the divine punishment. Even the divine punishment was afraid of him and dispersed. Where did he come from? The shock in Su Long's heart simply could not be described with words. A formation. Damn it. It must be Su Long. Bo Xian saw that Yang Hongwu had opened a formation. Moreover, this formation was threatening to him. His expression suddenly changed. This formation was filled with murderous aura. Without Su Long's help, who could set up such a terrifying formation in Sugu City? Everyone, let's break this formation together. Otherwise, we'll be in trouble. Bo Xian shouted. All right. The other old antiques nodded. They were the few ancient families in Sugu City. Apart from the city lore mansion, they had been in Sugu City for countless years. Naturally, their strength was quite terrifying. If they joined forces, it was possible to overthrow the city lord of Sugu City. However, they weren't united. Otherwise, Su Long might not be able to keep his position as the city lord. This was because none of them wanted to break this balance. Moreover, Shug City wasn't the only large city in the entire dragon world. If the internal strife in Shug City was taken advantage of by other forces, then the losses would outweigh the gains. It was precisely because of this that Shug City was able to remain safe and sound for tens of thousands of years. Chapter 1553. Chapter 2, Apocalyptic Divine Light, 10 Direction Killing Fist, Death God descends to the world, die for me. Yang Hongwu roared, and suddenly, fist shadows appeared all over the sky and enveloped everyone in it. One after another, Azuras appeared in the void, each of them brimming with killing intent. Damn it! Bo Xian's expression changed. This formation was indeed terrifying. It posed a huge threat to them. Shield of the Sage. With a wave of Bo Xian's hand, a huge shield appeared. This was Bo Xian's life treasure. He had paid a huge price to refine it and nourished it for countless years. It had long been compatible with him and integrated with his bloodline power. Although this supreme treasure was not a top supreme treasure, in his hands, it could erupt with great power. What bullshit is this sage's shield? Yang Hongwu coldly snorted and brandished the warblade in his hand. Break! That was the Grand Mist Saber, and it exploded with a powerful force. This attack heavily slammed into the huge shield, and a bright light burst out. Brat, you can't break my shield. Today I'll kill you. With that, a long spear appeared in Bo Xian's hand. Demon-breaking spear, die. The long spear in Bo Xian's hand turned into a golden dragon and fiercely bombarded Yang Hongwu. Be careful. Seeing this, Su Long's face changed. He shouted out a warning and grabbed a huge rock with his hand. He threw it in front of Yang Hongwu, trying to help Yang Hongwu block the attack. He can't block it. Ha! He can't block my demon-breaking spear. This kid is dead for sure. Bo Xian laughed loudly. Is that so? Yang Hongwu snorted coldly. He clenched his saber with both hands, and his whole body merged with the array. A terrifying, murderous intent burst out from his body. Raging Dragon Sky, Killing Slash. Yang Hongwu roared. This was a move that Yang Hongwu had comprehended after fusing the 10 Directions Killing Fist. Combined with the formation, it was perfect. His killing intent condensed into a physical form, and even time and space froze. This saber instantly chopped on a Bo Xian's long spear. Crack! With a crisp sound, the golden dragon formed by Bo Xian's spear was instantly shattered. His demon-slaying spear was also cut in half at that moment. Bang! The majestic power sent Bo Xian flying. Seeing this scene, Su Long was astonished. Hongwu had actually managed to force Bo Xian back. Su Long was very clear about Bo Xian's strength. If he hadn't used Su Gucheng's strength, Even he wouldn't have been able to force Bo Xian back with the sage's shield and demon-destroying spear. Dharma, Eye of Annihilation. Yang Hongwu's mind moved, and an eye appeared between his eyebrows. This was the Dharma, Eye of Annihilation. Originally, Yang Hongwu wouldn't have used the Dharma, Eye of Annihilation. However, Yang Hongwu was surprised to find that there was a miniature world on Bo Xian Sage's shield. This miniature world had just been born not long ago. It could be said that it was a newborn miniature world. It was no wonder that Bo Xian had refined the sage's shield into his life source treasure. One must know that although the sage's shield was powerful, it was still inferior to his demon-destroying spear. The reason why he had refined the sage's shield into his life source treasure was because of the miniature world inside the sage's shield. It was precisely because of this that, although Yang Hongwu's attack had sent Bo Xian flying, it hadn't injured him. Upon discovering this, Yang Hongwu was very happy. TSK, a newborn miniature world was very difficult for others to destroy unless they had enough strength that surpassed Bo Xian's. Only then would they be able to shatter the sage's shield and destroy the miniature world inside the sage's shield. However, Yang Hongwu wasn't an ordinary person. He had the Dharma, Eye of Annihilation, which could restrain any world. The Dharma, Eye of Annihilation was born to destroy worlds. Although Yang Hongwu's Dharma, Eye of Annihilation hadn't matured yet, it was enough to deal with this newborn miniature world. Yang Hongwu used the killing formation of the ninth heavens to completely seal off the entire space. The killing formation of the nine heavens underwent a transformation. It transformed from a terrifying killing formation into another formation, the isolation formation, which completely separated the space from the dragon realm. At this moment, Yang Hongwu could use the Dharma, Eye of Annihilation without any scruples. Your sage's shield is going to be broken today, Yang Hongwu said as a light of annihilation burst out from his Dharma, Eye of Annihilation. What a joke, what a joke. You want to break my sage's shield? Even a divine emperor expert, not even the dragon emperor, can break my sage's shield. Who do you think you are? Bo Xian couldn't help but ridicule Yang Hongwu when he saw that Yang Hongwu wanted to break his sage's shield. The sage's shield was his natal treasure. In the sage's shield, there was a miniature world. He had been nurturing it for so many years, and it had only grown a little. When this miniature world improved, he would be able to break the shackles and become a real divine emperor expert. In the future, he would be able to use the power of this miniature world to break through the legendary realm and become a peerless expert like the Dragon Emperor. However, what he didn't expect was that Yang Hongwu had his own miniature world. Not only that, but Yang Hongwu also had the terrifying Dharma, Eye of Annihilation, which could destroy any world. As long as he was strong enough, he could easily destroy the dragon world or even the entire six realms. Seeing the light of annihilation burst out from Yang Hongwu, Bo Xian didn't hesitate and summoned the sage's shield to block it. However, in the next moment, something happened that Bo Xian didn't expect. The inconspicuous light bombarded his sage's shield, and suddenly a crisp sound rang out. A crack appeared on his sage's shield. What made him even more terrified was that he could clearly feel that the miniature world inside the sage's shield was rapidly collapsing. Damn it! What kind of power is this? My sage's shield. Bo Xian's expression changed drastically when he saw this. He immediately recalled the sage's shield, but how could Yang Hongwu let him do as he wished? Dragon Suppression Talisman. Yang Hongwu shouted, and a talisman appeared. This talisman was carved with Yang Hongwu's own blood. It contained the supreme power of Yang Hongwu's bloodline and a terrifying dragon's aura. Yang Hongwu's bloodline was much higher than Bo Xian's. This talisman was also a dragon suppression talisman. When it burst out, Bo Xian felt a deep fear from the depths of his soul. World Annihilation Light. Chapter 1554. First layer of Divine Monarch Realm. When the Mahatma shield shattered, Bo Xian felt as if he had been struck by lightning. He was sent flying backward, coughing up a mouthful of blood. Glaring at Yang Hongwu, he said, "My shield. You destroyed my shield? How is this possible?" At this moment, Bo Xian simply couldn't believe what was happening in front of him. His sage shield, had actually been shattered. The small world inside the shield had also completely collapsed. It was because of this that he had suffered such a huge blow and was seriously injured. I've said before, I can shatter your shield. The treasure that you're so proud of is so weak in front of me. The corners of Yang Hongwu's mouth curled into a smile. After shattering Bo Xian's shield and destroying the small world within the sage's shield, Yang Hongwu devoured the fragments of a shield. He also devoured the source energy of the small world. After that, Yang Hongwu's cultivation level increased. Originally, it was not easy to break through the bottleneck of the half-step divine monarch realm. However, Yang Hongwu did not expect that after devouring the origin energy of the miniature world inside the sage shield, his cultivation level would naturally break through. He went from the half-step divine monarch realm to the first layer of divine monarch realm. With this breakthrough, Yang Hongwu found that his strength had increased by leaps and bounds compared to before. At this moment, Yang Hongwu was confident that even if he encountered a real divine emperor, he would not need to be afraid. Even if he could not defeat his opponent, he would have no problem contending against them. "Who are you?" Bo Xian asked. "You don't need to know who I am. A dead man doesn't need to know too much." After saying that, Yang Hongwu waved his hand and a ball of fire burst out. This ball of fire was the karmic fire of the Red Lotus. The karmic fire of the Red Lotus fell on Bo Xian's body. Bo Xian was seriously injured and had no treasure to protect his body. How could he resist Yang Hongwu's supreme divine fire? He was instantly burned to ashes by the karmic fire of the Red Lotus. Damn it, who is this kid? Why is it so scary? The old fogies who were with Bo Xian saw how easily Bo Xian was beheaded. Their hearts were filled with fear. Terrifying, too terrifying. Bo Xian Sage's shield was extremely formidable, and its defensive power was astonishing. They all knew that Bo Xian Sage's shield possessed astonishing defensive power. Although the shield wasn't the most powerful supreme treasure, in Bo Xian's hands, the power it could unleash was much stronger than that of the top supreme treasures. No one could break the defense of the Sage shield, not even the Dragon Emperor. However, this powerful shield couldn't even withstand a single blow from that kid. Bo Xian was killed because of this. In terms of defense, none of them could compare to Bo Xian. Among them, Bo Xian's strength was the strongest. Now, their strongest person had been killed. At this time, they were all scared out of their wits. Let's go, Xianlong said. "That brat is too strong. We're not his match. If we don't leave, I'm afraid we'll all die here," said another person. "Don't you think it's too late to leave now?" The corners of Yang Hongwu's mouth curled up into a smile. Now that the entire space had been sealed by him, it was impossible for them to escape unless they were stronger than him. Only then would they have a chance to break the seal of the formation and escape. However, was that possible? If there was a divine emperor expert or a pseudo-divine emperor expert, they might be able to break the seal of the formation and leave Shug City. However, there was no divine emperor expert among them, not even a pseudo-divine emperor expert. The only pseudo-divine emperor expert was Su Long. Su Long naturally wouldn't help them. "Let's work together to break the seal. No matter how strong he is, he's just one person," Xianlong said. "Really? You seem to have forgotten about me." At this time, Su Long's voice was heard. Su Long had just killed a half-step divine emperor expert. That was Su Long's enemy, an expert who had been planted in Shug City by Boar City. Su Long had not taken action all this time because he didn't have enough confidence. Now that there was such an opportunity, he certainly wouldn't let it go. In fact, half of the people from several big clans in Shug City had been bought over by Boar City. They were all Bruna's people. They hated Bruna and Su Long to the core. If it weren't for their clan, Su Long wouldn't have fallen into such a situation. If it weren't for them, Su Long would have broken through the bottleneck and entered the divine emperor realm. "Su Long, are you really going to kill us all and help an outsider?" "Haha, outsider? What outsider? Hongwu is my brother, Su Long's brother. You know very well who is the outsider. Back then, those bastards from Boar City attacked my family. You are all accomplices. If it wasn't for your help, Bruna and the others wouldn't have been able to break into Shug City. All of this was because of your secret help. Do you think I don't know? For so many years, I've been waiting patiently, waiting for an opportunity to take revenge. Now, the opportunity has come. I'll kill you all and then go to Boar City. Su Long's eyes were filled with killing intent. Yang Hongwu was surprised. However, after thinking about it, he didn't feel surprised. Su Long's family, his wife, all of it was because of Boar City's scheme that Su Long lost everything. If Xian Long and the others had helped Su Long, then Su Long would not have encountered such a tragedy. Since you have such a big grudge, I'll help you today. I'll kill them all here. In the future, Shug City will have only one force. Yang Hongwu said as he activated the array. Terrifying Azura killing gods appeared one after another. These Azura killing gods were extremely terrifying. Each of them was equivalent to the half-step divine emperor realm. The power of the entire Shug City was mobilized by Yang Hongwu. If it was before, Yang Hongwu wouldn't have such great ability. However, after he made a breakthrough in his cultivation and broke through the bottleneck of the half-step Sir God realm and entered the first level of the Sir God realm, this restriction naturally didn't exist anymore. He could easily mobilize the power of the entire Shug City. Yang Hongwu couldn't help but admit that the power of Shug City was really strong. However, mobilizing this power required a great price. If it was someone else, they wouldn't be able to mobilize the power of Shug City without such majestic mental strength. Chapter 1555. Dragon Emperor Seal Soon. The old antiques trapped in the formation were all killed. Yang Hongwu also released the formation. The consumption of mental strength was too great, but it was all worth it. These people were all refined by Yang Hongwu with the devouring furnace. Yang Hongwu's fleshly body and cultivation were stabilized. Brother, I'll leave the rest to you. I think you should be able to do it. You don't need my help. Yang Hongwu rested for a while, then soared into the sky and instantly disappeared. The matter in Shug City had been settled. Yang Hongwu still had to go to the dragon's sacred ground to seal the passage of the devil race. An hour later, Yang Hongwu appeared in front of the passage. At this moment, the Dragon Emperor had been waiting for a long time. Kid, why are you only here now? There was a huge change in this formation. It was almost broken. The Dragon Emperor said with a dignified expression. Impossible. Yang Hongwu's expression changed slightly when he heard this. He said, this formation should be able to seal this passage for 3 days. However, 3 days have yet to pass. How can my formation be broken so easily? Yang Hongwu was still very confident about the formation that he had arranged. Although the other party was very powerful, Yang Hongwu didn't think that that guy would pay a huge price just to open up this passage. That would cause his cultivation to regress. Moreover, if he forcefully broke the formation, he would suffer great damage. It was impossible for that great devil to disregard the gains and losses. One should know that in the devil world, there were a lot of devil experts. Such an expert would definitely have a lot of enemies. If something happened to him, it would definitely cause the other experts to attack him. Of course, this was just Yang Hongwu's guess. If I didn't arrive in time, I'm afraid this formation would have been broken. Once the passage was opened, it would be troublesome. The Dragon Emperor said, I was careless. If that person were to forcibly break through the formation, he would have to pay an enormous price. However, I do not believe that he would pay such an enormous price to forcibly break through the formation. Yang Hongwu said somewhat embarrassedly, if the other party is serious about breaking the formation by force, it might not be a bad thing. Boom! Rumble. While they were still talking, the earth started to tremble and the mountains started to shake. That spirit formation showed signs of being breached. The Dragon Emperor and the elders immediately made their moves to suppress the formation. Yang Hongwu waved his hand and shot out 2 beams of light. The 2 beams of light merged into the array formation and instantly suppressed it. You made another breakthrough in your cultivation. Looking at this scene, the Dragon Emperor was shocked. No wonder the Dragon Monarch had taken a fancy to him. To think that he would be so strong. In such a short period of time, he had broken through yet another realm. No, you have the karma of the Dragon Monarch on you. How could you break through so easily? Seeing that Yang Hongwu's cultivation was already at the first level of the Divine Lord realm, the Dragon Emperor's eyes widened in disbelief. This was simply unbelievable. As the Dragon Emperor of the Dragon World, the ruler of a world, he was naturally aware of some of the karma of the Dragon World. Yang Hongwu did indeed have a strong karma on him. This karma would not dissipate and would require Yang Hongwu to agree to protect the Dragon World. In other words, he would inherit the Dragon World and help the Dragon World tide through this calamity. Only then would he be able to break through the shackles of karma and make a breakthrough in his cultivation. But now, Yang Hongwu's karma was clearly still present. However, he had broken through and broke through the shackles to reach the first level of the Divine Lord realm. Furthermore, he had broken through so quickly and effortlessly. This was simply too shocking. Haha, Dragon Emperor, you don't have to be surprised. It's just karma. As I said, it's nothing in my eyes. Yang Hongwu laughed out loud. Now, Dragon Emperor, give me the item and I'll set up the array. All right, this is the Dragon Emperor's seal. This is the token of the Dragon Emperor. Originally, it was needed to suppress the Dragon Emperor Palace. However, due to the suddenness of the situation, this Dragon Emperor seal can only be used as the eye of the array to suppress this passageway. Saying that, the Dragon Emperor took out an item. It was a huge seal. This huge seal was the symbol of the Dragon Emperor, the Dragon Emperor seal. Yang Hongwu could sense a majestic power from this Dragon Emperor seal. It was the supreme might of the dragon, the power of the Dragon Emperor. Looking at the Dragon Emperor seal, Yang Hongwu had a strong impulse to devour and refine this Dragon Emperor seal. If he did that, his cultivation could rise to another level. Yang Hongwu suppressed the impulse in his heart. If he devoured this Dragon Emperor seal, the Dragon Emperor would probably fight him to the death. Even all the dragons in the Dragon World would become his enemy. Yang Hongwu even guessed that the will of the Dragon God of West Armor would not let him off easily. At that time, he would become the enemy of this world. Of course, this was not what Yang Hongwu wanted to see. In the future, he would enter this world again. No problem. It's the best way to use this Dragon Emperor seal as the formation eye to seal this tunnel. As long as the formation is set, this tunnel will be safe for 100 years. Yang Hongwu said, "That's right. 100 years? If it can really be sealed for 100 years, that would be great." The Dragon Emperor was overjoyed. "But, are you lying to me? You said 10 years before, but now it's 100 years. Because I've made a breakthrough in my cultivation, and this Dragon Emperor seal is a very special treasure. It can be said that this Dragon Emperor seal has condensed the power of fate of the entire Dragon World. If there's enough time, I can even use this Dragon Emperor seal and 8 other treasures to set up an unparalleled array to protect the entire Dragon World." Yang Hongwu said. Yang Hongwu was not joking. In the untainted 3 realms, the human Emperor Yu the Great had built the 9 cauldrons. The 9 cauldrons of Yu the Great had set up a powerful formation to protect the entire land of the 9 states. It was a huge formation with incomparably powerful power. Unless one's strength exceeded the limit of the formation by too much, it would be impossible to break the seal. With the Dragon Emperor seal as the core, such an array could be set up to protect the entire Dragon World with the help of the other 8 treasures. The Dragon Emperor's eyes lit up when he heard that, but then he shook his head with a wry smile. 8 treasures are too many. Chapter 1556. 1,000 dragons worship. There's not much time left. You'd better set up a formation and seal this passage. The Dragon Emperor said. All right. Yang Hongwu nodded and held the Dragon Emperor's seal in his hand. Brat, how dare you seal the passageway I opened up? A voice rang out beside Yang Hongwu's ear. Yang Hongwu couldn't be more familiar with this voice. It was none other than the devil he had encountered before. The strength of this devil could be said to be incomparably powerful. He could actually break through the space barrier and directly transmit his voice to Yang Hongwu. However, Yang Hongwu wasn't afraid of him at all. He said, I'm just doing what I've been asked to do. I must seal this passage. Yang Hongwu didn't care about the devil's threat. So what if he was threatened? Although the devil was powerful, Unless he forcefully broke through the space barrier and came here from the devil world, he wouldn't be able to fight against Yishuan. Moreover, even if he came to this world, the Dragon Emperor was still here. Yang Hongwu wasn't that stupid. Although Yang Hongwu wasn't afraid of such a powerful enemy, it was impossible to deal with him. If he forcefully took action, both sides would suffer losses. Therefore, Yang Hongwu wouldn't take action. For Yang Hongwu, it didn't matter if this world was shattered or scattered. If this world was destroyed, it couldn't be better for Yang Hongwu. He could then devour the origin energy of this world to improve his cultivation. However, the possibility of that happening was too small. "Brat, how dare you?" The face of the expert opposite him turned gloomy. A vast power rushed towards Yang Hongwu. If Yang Hongwu wasn't strong enough, he would be turned into a cripple by this terrifying power. His mind and soul would be scattered, and he would become an idiot or even die. Feeling this powerful soul attack, Yang Hongwu let out a muffled groan and blocked this powerful attack. His opponent's strength had far exceeded his expectations. What shocked Yang Hongwu even more was that this devil was actually able to penetrate the spatial barrier and directly attack his soul. This was simply too shocking for Yang Hongwu to accept. Yang Hongwu had to admit that the other party was indeed very strong. He couldn't be compared to an ordinary godly emperor. Yang Hongwu reckoned that the other party was much stronger than the Dragon Emperor. Perhaps he was already at the peak of the godly emperor realm. He was only one step away from becoming a peerless emperor. What a powerful strength! What a tyrannical attack! However, even so, it won't be easy for you to deal with me. Yang Hongwu coldly snorted and said, "Brat, you can actually block my soul attack. I admit that you're not bad. If you cooperate with me, I can let you rule the dragon world. What do you think?" Since he couldn't threaten Yishuan, he had to lure him. Yang Hongwu burst into laughter and said, "The dragon world is just a small world. You want to rope me in? What a joke. I don't put the dragon world in my eyes. If I want to, I can become the Dragon Emperor right now. Why should I work for you?" "Brat, it seems like you refuse a toast only to be forced to drink a forfeit." The voice of the opponent sank. Even though they were so far away, Yang Hongwu could feel a vast murderous intent locked on him. Yang Hongwu could clearly feel that if the opponent wanted to, he could directly break the space barrier and come here to attack him. "I like to drink a forfeit." Yang Hongwu waved his hand and cut off the connection with the demon. He was ready to set up a formation to seal the passage. "What's going on?" The Dragon Emperor saw Yang Hongwu's change and slightly frowned. He then asked, "Did you encounter a problem?" "The demon wanted to stop me and kill me. He wanted to shatter my soul. However, I blocked him." Yang Hongwu did not hide anything and said, "Broke through the space and attacked your soul directly?" The Dragon Emperor's expression changed. The opponent's strength has reached such a level? This is impossible. This is absolutely impossible. An elder said loudly, "Even the strongest expert of the devil world, the Devil Emperor, is powerful, but it's impossible for him to attack someone's soul from a different world without us sensing it. This brat is lying. It's up to you to believe it or not." Yang Hongwu did not care about the elder's doubts. The elder was not weak, but he was only a half-step divine emperor. Even Bo Xian could easily kill him. It would be easy for Yang Hongwu to kill him. "Shut up." The Dragon Emperor's expression darkened. He looked at Yang Hongwu and said, "Hongwu, are you telling the truth?" The Dragon Emperor knew that if Hongwu's words were true, then they would be in big trouble. The Dragon Emperor's strength was far from reaching that level. The Dragon Emperor was afraid that the Demon Emperor had already broken through the shackles and was half a step into that realm. No wonder the Demon Emperor had to pay a huge price to start a war. It seemed like he wanted to control the 6 worlds and use the strength of the 6 worlds to break through the bottleneck and enter that realm. It's not important anymore, is it? Yang Hongwu smiled faintly and then poured his strength into the Dragon Emperor's seal. At this moment, the Dragon Emperor's seal suddenly shone brightly and the entire dragon world's chi of luck was attracted. Dragon silhouettes filled the sky. Numerous golden dragons flew over from all directions. A loud dragon roar resounded through the world. Within the dragon world, all of the dragon race beings seemed to have sensed this horrifying power, as well as this unparalleled might of the dragon. A golden dragon of luck appeared in every big city in the dragon world. These golden dragons of luck unexpectedly knelt down in front of Yang Hanwu. How is this possible? How is this possible? The elder's voice faded away, and he involuntarily knelt down. Only one person did not kneel down. He was the Dragon Emperor. Everyone else, regardless of their strength or bloodline, had already knelt down in front of Yang Hanwu. Seeing this scene, the Dragon Emperor was shocked. He did not expect that Yang Hanwu would have such a situation after obtaining the Dragon Emperor's seal. It was simply unbelievable. Chapter 1557. The so-called ruling over the world was not a joke. Because Dragon Realm was opened by Dragon Emperor. Dragon Emperor's seal contained Dragon Emperor's restriction. All the dragons in this world had to bear the strength and restriction of Dragon Emperor's seal. Of course, if they wanted to expel Dragon Emperor's seal, they had to bear the strength and restriction of Dragon Emperor's seal. Not everyone could activate the power of Dragon Emperor's seal. He had to be recognized by Dragon Emperor's seal. Similarly, he had to be powerful enough to be recognized by the entire Dragon Realm. At the sight of this scene, Dragon Emperor was very envious and jealous. Although he was Dragon Emperor, he could only activate a part of the power of Dragon Emperor's seal. Otherwise, he would have long broken through the bottleneck of a mortal Emperor realm. As he had been in charge of Dragon Emperor's seal for so many years, how could he not be clear about it? However, he couldn't absorb and refine the power of Dragon Emperor's seal at all. On the other side of Demon Realm, an expert of the demonic Dao roared, "Damn it! This is the power of Dragon Emperor's seal. How could that brat activate the power of Dragon Emperor's seal completely?" The demon powerhouse punched a mountain heavily. The mountain couldn't bear such a powerful punch and turned into powder in a split second. The flat ground was enough to prove how terrifying this punch was. All right, the formation has been set up and the passageway has been sealed. No matter how strong the other party is, as long as they don't break the limits of this world, they won't be able to break through the passageway within 100 years, Yang Hanwu said. At this moment, Dragon Emperor and the others recovered their composure. So did the others who were kneeling on the ground. They then stood up and watched Yang Hanwu in great shock. Who the hell are you? How could you activate the real power of Dragon Emperor's seal? I'm going to leave. Yang Hanwu looked at Dragon Emperor and said, "If you want to take back Dragon Emperor's seal and break the formation, you only need to do this." Yang Hanwu flicked out a ray of light from his hand. This was the method to break the formation and also the method to collect the Dragon Emperor's seal. What was more, it was an immortal method that Yang Hanwu got from Dragon Emperor's seal. Emperor Dragon Shocking Seal. This was a supreme divine skill. When used together with the Dragon Emperor's seal, its power was boundless. The Dragon Emperor was at late Divine Emperor Realm and could fight with experts at peak Divine Emperor Realm. Yang Hanwu estimated that Dragon Emperor couldn't defeat that powerhouse unless he cooperated with Dragon Emperor's seal. Without Dragon Emperor's seal and the immortal method that he got from Dragon Emperor's seal, it was almost impossible for Dragon Emperor to defeat that powerhouse. The Dragon Monarch was shocked after obtaining this divine technique. He looked at Yang Hanwu in shock. He didn't expect that Yang Hanwu would give him such a powerful divine technique. This was no ordinary divine technique. With this divine technique, he could make a further progress in a short period and break through the bottleneck of late Divine Emperor Realm and enter peak Divine Emperor Realm. This divine technique even gave him the possibility to collect Dragon Emperor's seal. By then, he would have a chance to break through the bottleneck of Divine Emperor Realm and become an existence beyond Divine Emperor Realm. This divine technique was not simple. It was too precious. If it were him, he knew that he would not be so magnanimous as to be willing to give up such a powerful technique. "Thank you," the Dragon Emperor said after a while. "You want me to give up this divine technique?" Of course, he didn't want to give it up. No need. It doesn't belong to me. Moreover, I don't need it. Although it's good, I don't care about it, Yang Hanwu said with a faint smile. Looking at the Dragon Emperor, He thought, perhaps this guy will be on my side in the future. Yang Hongwu didn't know why he felt a sense of trust when he looked at the Dragon Emperor. This made Yang Hongwu very surprised. No one had ever given him such a feeling, except for his woman. At the thought of this, Yang Hongwu was startled. He was a man. Why did he give him such a feeling? Anyway, I have to thank you. You've helped me so much. What can I do for you? The Dragon Emperor looked at Yang Hongwu and asked. After all, he had received such a great benefit from Yang Hongwu. If he didn't do something, he would feel embarrassed. How about this? If you have an Emperor-level Dragon Ball, can you give me one? Yang Hongwu said. The Dragon Emperor smiled bitterly and said, I can give you other things, but I don't have an Emperor-level Dragon Ball. You don't have one? When Yang Hongwu heard this, he was very disappointed. There were no Emperor-grade Dragon Pearls. Yang Hongwu really didn't care about other things. Forget it if you don't have it. It would be good if you have a supreme treasure that can travel through the void. It's not easy to get a supreme treasure. An elder frowned and looked at Yang Hongwu with dissatisfaction. Since you don't have a supreme treasure, then forget it. Yang Hongwu did not mind. Emperor-level Dragon Pearls and supreme treasures were both extremely precious and rare existences. Yang Hongwu was not surprised that they were unwilling to part with them. How about this? I have a sword formation. It's not very useful to me. I'll give it to you as a token of my appreciation. The Dragon Emperor said. No, Lord Dragon Emperor. You can't do that. As soon as the Dragon Emperor finished his words, the others stopped him. Yang Hongwu was extremely curious. A sword formation, a mere sword formation, actually made them so nervous. It was as though in their eyes, this sword formation was extremely amazing. If it wasn't so, they wouldn't be so excited. Lord Dragon Emperor, I remember now. There's another supreme treasure in the treasury. One of the elders quickly said, Yes, I remember now. There's another supreme treasure in our treasury. It's very powerful. It's even more powerful than the Dragon Emperor's seal. Are you talking about that supreme treasure? The Dragon Emperor frowned and asked. Yes, it's that supreme treasure. It's been in our treasury for countless years. It's useless to leave it there. Why don't we give it to young Master Hongwu? Another elder said. Chapter 1558. Child Hongwu, you're so powerful and possess supreme divine power. How could you care about such an evil weapon? The elder said. He was really worried that the Dragon Emperor would give away the sword formation. It was the last trump card of the Imperial Palace of Dragon Kings, which was responsible for the safety of the Imperial Palace. If it was given away, the safety of the Imperial Palace of Dragon Emperor would be compromised. Child Hongwu, to be honest, that treasure is very terrifying when it's not sealed. Its power is even more terrifying and powerful than that of the Dragon Emperor seal. In order to seal it, the former Dragon Emperor paid a huge price to seal it. After so many years, the evil chi should have been exhausted. However, it's not easy to break the seal. It's up to you, child, the elder said. Well, it's the treasure if you're willing to part with it. Yang Hongwu didn't care about it. For him, the power of demon Tao, evil Tao, etc. were all energy and spiritual chi of the universe. Even if he couldn't refine it with the devouring furnace and karmic fire of Red Lotus, he could still refine it with the help of the divine tree of fate. Of course, we're willing to part with it. The other elders also let out a sigh of relief. Actually, it was a great danger for them to keep that evil treasure in the treasury of Dragon Emperor Palace. Nobody knew whether this evil treasure would change at the critical moment. Once it did, they would be in big trouble. They couldn't bear it at all. When they recalled the terrifying disaster that this evil treasure had caused, their faces all changed. Of course, it was a good thing to get rid of this evil treasure. Giving it to Hongwu was like killing two birds with one stone. The Dragon Emperor opened his mouth and wanted to stop Yang Hongwu. However, when he saw the look in Yang Hongwu's eyes, he finally sighed and didn't say anything, because he knew that Hongwu wouldn't change his mind even if he said it. He only hoped that God would help the worthy and not be bewitched by the evil spirit in the evil treasure. When he recalled Zhang Tai's look when he released the strength of Dragon Emperor seal just now, Dragon Emperor didn't worry too much about him. After all, Dragon Emperor Seal had already accepted Zhang Tai as the successor of Dragon Emperor. Of course, there was nothing to worry about. Yang Hongwu looked at their expressions and knew that this so-called treasure was probably nothing good. In their hands, it should be a hot potato. Of course, to Yang Hongwu, it was nothing. As long as it was a powerful treasure, it didn't matter if it was good, evil, or evil. It didn't matter anymore. He was confident that he would be able to suppress him. No matter if they were demons, ghosts, or monsters, they could all be exterminated and killed. The devouring furnace suppressed and devoured everything. On the way, Yang Hongwu watched this treasure that he got from Dragon Emperor Palace. It was a flag. This flag was very ordinary, and one couldn't see anything special about it. However, when Yang Hongwu tried to probe the flag with his spiritual force, he was blocked by an invisible force. Even so, Yang Hongwu still sensed a powerful force sealed in this flag. This force was terrifying. If it was released, it would definitely cause a terrible disaster. Yang Hongwu took a deep breath. The seal on the flag faintly showed signs of loosening. The force inside could be released at any time. At this moment, Yang Hongwu finally understood why those fellows wanted to throw this thing to him. This was indeed an evil treasure and a dangerous item. If it weren't for special reasons, Yang Hongwu really wanted to remove the seal on this evil treasure to see what great secret it held. However, after giving it some thought, Yang Hongwu decided to place a seal on the evil treasure to reinforce the original seal. This way, it would take a long time for the item inside the flag to erupt. As long as Yang Hongwu didn't remove the seal, this evil treasure would always be in a sealed state. The moment Yang Hongwu strengthened the seal, he felt a burst of power from this evil treasure. It wanted to break the seal, but how could it be so easy? Although Yang Hongwu's cultivation was only at the first level of the Divine Emperor realm, his level of setting up seals and formations was far beyond ordinary people. Even experts at the peak of the Divine Emperor realm, or even the Emperor realm, might not be stronger than him. Therefore, this seal was absolutely impossible to break. Brother, Luli was released by Yang Hongwu. He looked at Yang Hongwu and said, "Why didn't you let me out? If you do this again, I'll ignore you." Yang Hongwu smiled and said, "It's my fault. It's my fault. Didn't I let you out? Look, I didn't let your sisters out. I'll let it go this time. But what if Sister Yuji and the others also want to come out?" Luli said. Yang Hongwu said, "Not now." Yang Hongwu shook his head. What a joke. They weren't strong enough. If they came out, they wouldn't be able to help him. Instead, they would make him worry. Why? Luli asked. There's no reason. It's too dangerous. This time, I brought you out to give you something. As Yang Hongwu spoke, he stretched out his right hand and condensed a pearl in his palm. This was the dragon pearl that he had obtained before. The demonic chi on the dragon pearl had already been absorbed by Yang Hongwu. Yang Hongwu had refined it. Originally, Yang Hongwu had planned to devour this dragon bead completely. However, Yang Hongwu realized that the benefits of devouring this dragon bead weren't as great as he had imagined. On the other hand, giving it to Lu Li would be more beneficial. His own cultivation could be improved by devouring the world's origin energy. It was more convenient. However, Lu Li was different. The pure energy of this dragon bead would be more helpful to her. When he was refining the blood of the West Armor Dragon Lord, Yang Hongwu was worried that something would go wrong. That was why he didn't let Lu Li out. Sure enough, something unexpected happened. If he had called Lu Li out and let her refine the blood of the West Armor Dragon Lord, things wouldn't have turned out like this. The situation would have changed. He had almost been taken over by the West Armor Dragon Lord. If it had been Lu Li, the West Armor Dragon Lord would have succeeded. Chapter 1559. Yang Hongwu smiled and said, "Look at my current cultivation. Brother, you broke through?" Only at this time did Lu Li notice that Yang Hongwu's cultivation had broken through. At this time, he actually already reached first-level Divine Lord Realm. Of course, I have broken through the shackles of Tai, True God, and reached level 1 Divine Monarch Realm. Although the Dragon Pearl has some effect on me, it is not very useful. However, if you refine it, it will be different. Once you refine the power of the Dragon Pearl, You should be able to reach half-step divine emperor realm. Yang Hanwu looked at Lu Li and said, Lu Li's aptitude was not ordinary. However, it was impossible for her to break through to divine emperor realm. This emperor-level dragon pearl could at most make Lu Li break through to half-step divine emperor realm. Even so, it was enough. It was enough. Brother, thank you. She could see that Yang Hongwu was doing this for her own good. Although Yang Hongwu's cultivation did not increase by much after refining the dragon pearl, it was not a problem for him to increase his cultivation by a small level, because she knew that Yang Hongwu's cultivation was about to break through to level 1. It was very difficult for him to break through to level 2, as it required a huge amount of energy. Well, don't talk too much. I will send you into the Dragon Gate and cultivate well. Yang Hongwu moved his mind and sent Lu Li into the Dragon Gate again. He did not give her any chance to speak. After doing all this, Yang Hongwu was about to leave the Western Dragon world and return to the original divine domain. Yang Hongwu started to set up the teleportation formation. Originally, Yang Hongwu wanted to teleport directly to the common people's divine domain. However, it would be very dangerous. Therefore, to be safe, Yang Hongwu decided to teleport to the common people's divine domain first, and then to the common people's divine domain. To teleport from the Western Dragon world to the common people's divine domain, one had to travel through the big world. Naturally, it would consume a lot of energy and it would be dangerous. Yang Hongwu had to be careful. In fact, with Yang Hongwu's current cultivation level, he could directly use the void travel technique to teleport. However, it would be more dangerous. At that time, if he was teleported to the common people's god domain, he would have to use up a lot of energy to break through the space barrier of the big world. If he met with danger and didn't have the power to resist, then the loss would outweigh the gain. This was why Yang Hongwu chose to set up an array. Unless he had no other choice, he wouldn't use the spatial travel technique. Formation Rise. Yang Hongwu used the dragon origin stones he had obtained from the dragon monarch and Su Long to set up the formation. Yang Hongwu set up a teleportation array. This teleportation array consumed a huge amount of energy, and Yang Hongwu had to take out almost all of his dragon source stones. However, there was nothing they could do about it. After all, they were shuttling through great realms. Moreover, this was Yang Hongwu's first attempt at shuttling through great realms. Therefore, to be on the safe side, he needed enough energy. If something went wrong midway, it would be troublesome. If he was teleported to another world, it would be troublesome. After all, he didn't have much time. What he wanted to do now was to obtain the fragment of the common people's great seal and completely unlock the seal on his inner world. Just as Yang Hongwu was about to activate the teleportation array, a wave of spatial fluctuations appeared. A violent aura instantly broke through the air. This powerful and domineering aura instantly locked onto Yang Hongwu. Yang Hongwu's face darkened. This person didn't come with good intentions. Yang Hongwu stopped the teleportation. This wasn't a small matter. The other party's strength could directly tear through the void. If he forcefully entered the teleportation array to teleport, the other party could disrupt his teleportation array. In this way, if he forcefully teleported, it would cause many unknown factors. The danger would greatly increase. Moreover, this person's strength was so powerful that Yang Hongwu didn't want him to know his background. Therefore, after this aura appeared, Yang Hongwu instantly sealed the array. Yang Hongwu was very familiar with the aura of the person who came. This was none other than the Demon Dao expert who had just sealed the passage to the Devil World. Yang Hongwu didn't expect that in order to deal with him, in order to take revenge, he would directly tear through the void and appear here. Junior, you've ruined my plans, and now you want to leave? How can there be such a good thing? A figure appeared in front of Yang Hongwu. This person seemed to be shrouded in a layer of fog. His face couldn't be seen clearly, and his voice was erratic. It was unknown whether he was a man or a woman. It's you. Yang Hongwu's face darkened. He looked at the person and said, "What do you want?" Although this person's strength was powerful, Yang Hongwu wasn't afraid. At least, even if he wasn't a match for him, he had no problem protecting himself. Open the passage. The person said. Impossible. Yang Hongwu refused. If I had been willing to do so, I wouldn't have needed to seal your passageway. Therefore, this is impossible. Junior, do you really think that I don't dare to kill you? Hearing Yang Hongwu's words, the person's murderous aura instantly locked onto Yang Hongwu. This made Yang Hongwu feel as if he was being stared at by a giant beast. This powerful aura was too overbearing and terrifying. This person's strength was as he had thought before. He had probably reached the limit of the divine Emperor realm. In other words, he was half a step away from the Emperor realm. He was only one step away from the legendary Emperor realm. Unfortunately, how difficult was it to break through this bottleneck? The reason why he started the war to obtain the 6 realms was probably because he wanted to borrow the power of luck of the 6 realms, or the power of the world, to break through his own limit and enter the legendary realm. Haha, I might be afraid if your real body really came here. But now, I'm not worried that you can't kill me. Yang Hongwu laughed. Is that so? That person's face was extremely gloomy. The aura that erupted from his body was even more terrifying. It was as if he was going to crush this part of the world. This part of the space seemed to be unable to withstand this terrifying power and would collapse at any time. This power had already surpassed the limits of the world. This was the limit of this side of the world. Junior, your eyesight is very good. You can actually see that this is not my real body. However, even if it's just a clone, it's enough to deal with you. If you were still with the Dragon Emperor, I might not be able to deal with you. But now, you've left the Dragon Emperor. Chapter 1560. I, Figaro, have already comprehended the heart of an emperor. I'm already half a step into the realm of an emperor. Conquering the 6 realms is the only way for me to break through the shackles and become an emperor. You've sealed my original channel to cut off my opportunity to break through. Yang Hongwu finally understood what was going on. This man's name was actually Figaro. Yang Hongwu also confirmed his guess. Figaro's strength was indeed terrifying. He was already half a step away from becoming an emperor. He was only half a step away from becoming a real emperor. Unfortunately, although it was only half a step away, it was a world of difference. It was not an easy task to break through this bottleneck. Are you threatening me? Yang Hongwu smiled and said, I'm not afraid of threats. You could try to kill me with a flick of your finger. You're just a mere incarnation. After saying that, Yang Hongwu unleashed a powerful aura, as if he was a peerless expert. His whole body was shrouded by a powerful force. His aura is supported by the will of the dragon world. Seeing Yang Hongwu's change, Figaro's expression changed. He finally understood why Yang Hongwu was so confident. With the blessing of the heaven and earth, this guy had been recognized by the will of the dragon realm. If he wasn't too weak and hadn't reached the divine emperor realm, he would have been the ruler of the dragon realm by now. The ruler of a world was not something he could easily threaten. Figaro's strength was indeed very powerful. He was half a step away from becoming an emperor. In the 6 realms, there were not more than 3 people who could contend against him. As for the dragon emperor of the dragon world, his strength had not reached that level. He was not a threat to Figaro. For a long time, the dragon world was not under control. Although the dragon emperor was the ruler of the dragon world on the surface, he was not recognized by the dragon world. He could not mobilize the energy of heaven and earth in the dragon world. He was not supported by the will of the dragon world. Even though he was powerful, he was still no match for him. Even though he had comprehended the heart of the emperor and was the most powerful person in the devil realm, he was not the lord of fortune of the devil realm. He was not blessed by the will of the devil realm, and he was not the devil emperor. Originally, with his strength, he was the strongest in the devil world. It was still possible for him to seize the position of the devil emperor. However, once he started a battle with the devil emperor, it would be an earth-shattering battle. Although the devil emperor was weaker than him, the devil emperor was supported by the will of the devil world. However, with the cultivation of a deity emperor and the support of the will of heaven and earth of the devil world, it was enough to fight against him. Once they started fighting, both sides would suffer. In the end, he might win, but what would happen after that? Without enough time, without thousands of years, how could he recover to his peak? At that time, not to mention unifying the 6 realms, it would already be good enough if the Devil Realm was not devoured by the other 5 realms. The Devil Realm and the other 5 realms had always been enemies. The Devil Realm was too powerful. If it were not for the fact that the Devil Realm was strong and the other 5 realms were not united, the Devil Realm would have been destroyed long ago. Without a doubt, once he and the Devil Emperor were both injured, the other lords of the 5 realms would definitely act to destroy the Devil Realm and divide the Devil Realm. I have underestimated you. I did not expect you to be blessed by the will of heaven and earth and the fate of the Dragon Realm. Figaro looked at Yang Hongwu, his eyes filled with unwillingness. If his avatar forcefully attacked, he was confident that he could kill Yang Hongwu here. However, if he did that, his avatar would be attacked by the will of heaven and earth. His avatar would definitely perish here. In that case, his chi would be greatly reduced. If he died, he would be completely rejected by the will of heaven and earth of the Dragon Realm. Naturally, he would not be able to become the Lord of the Dragon Realm. His goal was to become the Lord of the 6 realms and unify the 6 realms. The Dragon Realm was the weakest, so it was his first target. In fact, the other 4 realms were not weaker than the Dragon Realm. Even the weakest one, the human world, had terrifying strength. In the human world, there was a strong cultivator who was as strong as him. Moreover, there were many people in the human world. Adding them up, they had more people than the other 5 worlds combined. Even though they were weak, they were still strong. Although they were weak, the number of experts born from such a large number of people was terrifying. As far as he knew, there were 3 divine emperors in the human realm. There might even be more hidden experts in the human realm. Once this power erupted, it would be very terrifying. Therefore, it was impossible to attack the human realm first. Therefore, the best choice was the Dragon Realm. Because the Lord of the Dragon Realm, the Dragon Emperor, was not recognized by the will of heaven and earth of the Dragon Realm. He also did not receive the fate of the Dragon Realm. In fact, Figaro was also a dragon. Because of this, he wanted to use the power of the Devil Realm to attack the Dragon Realm. Once he became the Lord of the Dragon Realm, his strength would rise to another level. At that time, although he would not be able to break through the bottleneck and become a real emperor, he was confident that he would not be weaker than the Dragon Realm. He would not be weaker than the emperor. Yang Hongwu could not deny Figaro's words. If you want to attack, then come. I also want to see how strong the Devil Race experts are. Yang Hongwu did not see that Figaro was also a dragon. He did not have the chi of dragons on him. Little guy, although you have been recognized by the will of heaven and earth of the Dragon Realm, and have received the fate of the Dragon Realm, it is only a small part. If I want to kill you, I can still do it. However, I think we can work together. My goal isn't just the Dragon World. In truth, the Dragon World is the weakest of the 6 realms. You've been acknowledged by the will of heaven and earth of the Dragon World, and you've received its karmic luck. With my help, you can truly become the ruler of the Dragon World, the true ruler of the Dragon World. When you become the Lord of the Dragon Realm, your strength will increase by leaps and bounds. It will not be difficult for you to become an emperor. As for me, I need to obtain the other 4 realms, at least 3 of them. Yang Hongwu narrowed his eyes. Temptation, temptation again. If it was someone else, they would be tempted. Even Yang Hongwu himself had some thoughts when he heard this. Chapter 1561. Yang Hongwu estimated that even if he devoured the entire 6 realms, he might not be able to break through the Emperor's shackles. What a joke! How could it be so easy to reach the Emperor realm? He did not know how much he had to pay to reach the divine Emperor realm. If it was someone else, they would have spent a lot of energy. With such a huge amount of energy, they would have broken through to the divine Emperor realm long ago. However, he himself was still far away. Whatever you say, if you're done talking, you can fight. If you don't, you can leave. Yang Hongwu looked at him indifferently. You? Figaro looked at Yang Hongwu and trembled with anger. He was an expert who was half a step away from becoming an emperor. He had already put down his face, but this kid did not give him any face and refused to cooperate. This made him extremely angry. What about me? Yang Hongwu said coldly. Old man, I don't have that much time to waste with you. I have a lot of things to do. Every minute is worth millions. Good, very good. Kid, you successfully angered me. Even if I have to lose this incarnation, I will kill you here. After saying that, Figaro burst out with an overbearing aura and punched towards Yang Hongwu. This punch directly pierced through the void and was about to hit Yang Hongwu. Yang Hongwu moved. At this moment, Yang Hongwu moved. With a wave of his hand, a ray of light shot up to the sky. In an instant, a powerful and overbearing formation appeared in the open space. This formation was the teleportation formation that Yang Hongwu had set up before. However, how could the formation set up by Yang Hongwu be so simple? Just in case, when Yang Hongwu was setting up the formation, he could change the nature of the formation at will. At this time, Yang Hongwu changed the teleportation formation into the supreme yin-yang formation, which was a combination of attack and defense. This formation had an amazing defense. It was a combination of attack and defense. Bang! Figaro's fist bombarded the formation, and instantly there was a loud bang. A powerful impact burst out in an instant, and the surrounding space was rippled by this powerful and overbearing force. What an overbearing punch! What a powerful force! As expected of an expert who was half a step away from becoming an emperor. Yang Hongwu groaned, and a trace of blood flowed out from the corner of his mouth. This punch was truly overbearing and terrifying. It was beyond his expectations. He did not expect that this punch would actually injure him when it landed on the formation. Yang Hongwu was confident that the Dragon Emperor would not be able to do this. It should be known that his current cultivation was in the Divine Lord realm. He had devoured and refined the power of the West Dragon Lord, and his physical body had become extremely strong. His own strength was also very strong. This was the West Dragon realm. Here, Yang Hongwu's strength was enhanced. Just as Figaro had said, he was recognized by the will of heaven and earth here and received the blessing of the Dragon realm. He was like half a master of the West Dragon realm. Although he could not use the power of heaven and earth, when Yang Hongwu was attacked by external forces and his life was in danger, the will of heaven and earth would support him. It would help him block a part of the attack. Formation. Damn it, I actually forgot about this. This formation is indeed not bad. However, I would like to see how many times you can withstand my attacks. Figaro was enraged, and he frantically attacked the array formation that Yang Hongwu had set up with one punch after another. It was as if he was determined to kill Yang Hongwu. He wanted to kill him here. With every punch that landed on the formation, Yang Hongwu had to bear a huge impact. Yang Hongwu had never felt so aggrieved before. The only person who could force him into such a state was Figaro. Yang Hongwu's face was getting paler and paler, and his injuries were getting worse. Kid, you refuse a toast only to be forced to drink a forfeit. Let's see how long you can last. Figaro's attacks didn't stop as he said, "If you submit to me now and open the passage for me, I'll spare your life. I'll even give you supreme glory and make you the master of the Dragon realm. However, you'll have to face the consequences of your actions. However, if you're stubborn, then today will be the day you die." Is that so? Seeing that Yang Hongwu's formation was about to be broken, Yang Hongwu was not afraid or worried. Instead, he laughed. Laughing? Kid, you're about to die. How can you still laugh? Figaro frowned when he saw Yang Hongwu's expression. He had a bad premonition. Haha, I'm about to die. Who's the one who's about to die? Yang Hongwu laughed loudly. Dragon Emperor. Figaro's expression changed at this moment. He regained his senses. He had been tricked. He had been tricked by this kid. He had secretly communicated with the Dragon Emperor. Figaro, I didn't expect it to be you. The Dragon Emperor appeared and threw a punch. His tyrannical power transformed into a huge dragon. Figaro hastily reacted and also threw a punch. The two fists collided and a powerful shockwave erupted. The strength of the two was quite terrifying. One was the Dragon Emperor, and the other was the Dragon Emperor. The other was a divine emperor. The other was the incarnation of a half-step emperor. They were evenly matched when their fists collided. Yang Hongwu retracted his formation and turned into a shadow, disappearing from the spot. In the next moment, he appeared behind the Dragon Emperor. I didn't expect you to be so big now. Figaro looked at the Dragon Emperor and murmured, "Not bad, almost catching up with me." Yang Hongwu was astonished when he heard their conversation. Did they know each other? They seemed to be very familiar with each other. "But you can't stop me. I must conquer the dragon world. You can't stop me," Figaro said coldly. "I won't let you succeed." The Dragon Emperor's eyes shot out a cold light as he said coldly, "Figaro, you traitor. Today is the day you die." An elder said, "Lord Dragon Emperor, don't waste your breath on this traitor. Let's attack together and kill this traitor. He's just an incarnation." The Dragon Emperor sighed. "Even so, we must kill him and cut off his real body's arm." "That's right. Let's attack together." Another elder said loudly, looking at Figaro with hatred in his eyes. Yang Hongwu was even more curious. Who was this guy? How could he make them so angry? What was their relationship? Chapter 1562. Figaro, don't be stubborn. At this moment, the Dragon Emperor made his move. He also threw out a punch, but it wasn't as violent as Figaro's. It was overbearing and filled with destructive chi. This punch collided with Figaro's destructive punch, but it just happened to cancel out the terrifying power. Yang Hongwu was shocked to see this scene. How could it be so coincidental that the power of Figaro's terrifying punch was canceled out? This was control, incomparably precise control. The Dragon Emperor's cultivation had increased, and in such a short period of time, it had reached an unimaginable level. He was probably already a half-step emperor. Yang Hongwu was shocked. Wasn't the Dragon Emperor's talent a little too powerful? You actually made a breakthrough in your cultivation. Who was Figaro? He had already entered the half-step emperor realm for a long time. How could he not know that the Dragon Emperor's control of power had reached such a level? Therefore, when the Dragon Emperor blocked Figaro's punch, he already knew. Congratulations, Lord Dragon Emperor. The several elders of the dragon world were also pleasantly surprised. The Dragon Emperor had broken through and reached the same level as Figaro. They didn't need to worry about the safety of the dragon world anymore. Even if a great calamity came, the dragon world would have the power to protect itself. All along, the dragon world had been the weakest of the 6 worlds. The dragon world was the weakest among the 5 worlds because it didn't have a single top-notch expert who had broken through the shackles of the godly emperor realm and entered the half-step imperial emperor realm. Now that the Dragon Emperor had broken through, it meant that the dragon world no longer needed to be suppressed by the other 5 worlds. Congratulations, Lord Dragon Emperor. Yang Hongwu also bowed. The Dragon Emperor had obtained the inheritance of the Dragon Monarch, so it was only a matter of time before he broke through. However, Yang Hongwu didn't expect him to break through so quickly. One should know that he had just separated from him not long ago. In such a short period of time, the Dragon Emperor had already broken through to such a level. How could Yang Hongwu not be surprised? Perhaps this fellow had obtained the acknowledgement of the will of heaven and earth? Yang Hongwu thought to himself, if he had not been recognized by the will of heaven and earth, it would have been impossible for his strength to break through so quickly. Of course, it could also be because his accumulation, his foundation, and his accumulation were too strong. Therefore, he had obtained an opportunity to break through. It was done. There was no delay at all. Speaking of which, I have to thank you for your help. If you didn't give me those things, I wouldn't have broken through so easily. Now that I've broken through, I'm more confident about facing the coming catastrophe. After saying that, Dragon Emperor turned around and looked at Figaro's incarnation, saying, "Figaro, come back. I know you didn't want this to happen. Why do you have to fall to the devil Tao and become someone else's servant?" "Shut up." Figaro's expression changed when he heard Dragon Emperor's words. He shouted, "Dragon Emperor, don't think that you can be unscrupulous just because you've broken through. Although you've reached the half-step Emperor realm, you're still not my opponent. This is just an incarnation. This is my incarnation. Although I can't defeat you, don't force me to summon my true body. Once my true body comes, you won't be my opponent at all. Figaro, I know what you're thinking. After all, you're also a dragon. In terms of seniority, you're my uncle. Don't be stubborn. You know that his strength is too terrifying. He can destroy the entire dragon world and even the entire 6 worlds. You're also a dragon. Do you want to see the dragon world destroyed? See? Do you want to see the 6 world destroyed? Dragon Emperor shouted. Yang Hongwu was even more confused when he heard these words. Figaro being a dragon was already beyond Yang Hongwu's expectations. However, he had also guessed it from the conversation between Dragon Emperor and Figaro just now. However, if there was a terrifying existence behind Figaro, Yang Hongwu was shocked. How could someone like Figaro be the kind of person who would be willing to be inferior to others? If he was just a servant, then how terrifying was the strength of the person behind Figaro? This was simply unimaginable. Emperor, at the very least, was an existence in the Emperor realm. Yang Hongwu took a deep breath and watched the development of the situation. If a powerhouse in the Emperor realm made a move, Yang Hongwu didn't think that he could resist. Of course, Yang Hongwu had seen people in the Emperor realm. The Holy Doctor of the Dragons, Li Longjin, was definitely a powerhouse of that level. The same was true for the Shi Jia Dragon Lord. The Shi Jia Dragon Lord was only left with an incomplete soul, and his strength was greatly reduced. Yang Hongwu knew that if it weren't for the help of the Holy Doctor of the Dragons, Li Longjin, he would have been possessed by the Shi Jia Dragon Lord. Yes, therefore, Yang Hongwu could guess how terrifying the strength of an Emperor Realm powerhouse was. In any case, it was quite terrifying. If a martial artist in the half-step Emperor Realm went up against a true Emperor Realm powerhouse, he would be far from a match. An Emperor Realm powerhouse could probably destroy dozens or even hundreds of half-step Emperor Realm powerhouses with a flick of his finger. This was a powerful world. The Dragon Realm had created the Dragon Realm. What about the other 5 realms? Who had created them? Were there really only 6 realms in this world? Yang Hongwu didn't know. It seemed that this world had a certain connection with the common people's realm that he was originally in. Even if the Dragon Realm is destroyed, even if the 6 realms are destroyed, what does it have to do with me? Figaro said angrily. Back then, it was you who betrayed me and abandoned me. No, it's not like that. The Dragon Emperor said. Lord Dragon Emperor, why are you being so long-winded with him? This person's attainments have fallen to the demon path, and he has become that person's lackey. He must die. An elder of the dragons said loudly. Haha, you make it sound so dignified. This is the usual style of you bastards. You are not qualified to kill me. Today I will leave. Sooner or later, the Dragon Realm will fall under my iron fist. Figaro laughed loudly. Then, he turned into a phantom and tore open the space. A crack appeared in the void, and he disappeared from the spot. Originally, Yang Hongwu thought that there would be an earth-shattering battle. But in the end, it didn't happen. Yang Hongwu was quite disappointed. After all, if there was a battle between 2 half-step Emperor Realm powerhouses, it would be very helpful for him to be able to see such a battle. Chapter 1563. I had no choice. The Dragon Emperor shook his head. He's not as simple as an incarnation. If I were to forcefully take action, I'm afraid it would cause unnecessary changes. Lord Dragon Emperor, thank you very much this time. Yang Hongwu said to the Dragon Emperor. No matter what this time, he was indeed indebted to the Dragon Emperor. If it wasn't for the Dragon Emperor's help, it wouldn't have been easy for him to escape this time. It's fine. You were entangled by Figaro because you helped me. If it wasn't for helping me seal that passage, you wouldn't have been targeted by Figaro. The Dragon Emperor said. However, you have to be careful in the future. Figaro has already targeted you and won't give up so easily. Lord Dragon Emperor, forgive me for being blunt, but who is behind Figaro? Why are you so afraid? Yang Hongwu said. Could it be that his strength has broken through the limit and entered the legendary Emperor realm? Lord Dragon Emperor. The Dragon Emperor wanted to say something, but an elder of the dragons called out. Yang Hongwu could see that the elder of the dragons wanted to hide something. Sigh. The Dragon Emperor sighed and said, Actually, this is not a big secret. There are records in the 6 realms that the person behind Figaro is an extraterrestrial demon with terrifying strength. The 6 realms were originally just one world, but because of the war with the extraterrestrial demon, the 6 realms were divided. After the war with the extraterrestrial demon, the continent collapsed and was later divided into 6 realms. Didn't you say that the dragon world was a world created by the dragon monarch? Yang Hanwu was stunned when he heard this. He didn't expect there to be such a thing. When the 6 realms collapsed, each realm was fused with the body of a peerless expert to prevent this world from completely collapsing. The dragon world was formed by the body of the dragon monarch. Therefore, the dragon world was created by the dragon monarch. It can be said that this is a part of the dragon world. The partial origin was formed by the dragon monarch's body, said the dragon monarch. According to what you said, the peerless expert behind Figaro, the peerless evil demon, is the extraterritorial demon you mentioned. He is so powerful. If he wants to attack the 6 realms again, I'm afraid you can't stop him, right? Yang Hongwu asked curiously. Figaro was a half-step sovereign. Even Monarch Realm Expert was a lackey for that person. It could be seen that Figaro had no intention of rebelling. Moreover, he seemed to be extremely fearful of that person. Yang Hongwu was very clear about Figaro's strength. Figaro was so strong, yet he didn't even have the slightest intention of rebelling. It was clear how terrifying that person was. He's also injured and hasn't fully recovered yet. Furthermore, the 6 peerless experts fused with the 6 worlds not only to repair Odega's divine domain, but also to suppress the devil. The 6 worlds are a huge formation, a powerful seal. That seal will be able to destroy the Odega divine domain. This seal is used to suppress the devil. The dragon monarch said, once any of the 6 worlds is destroyed or controlled by the devil, he will break out of the seal. At that time, no one in the 6 worlds can stop him. Yang Hongwu was shocked when he heard this. The so-called extraterritorial demon's strength had probably reached an incredible level. Perhaps he had already surpassed the legendary realm of Emperor. Yang Hongwu felt more and more confused. He smiled bitterly in his heart. Logically speaking, he was not a person of the 6 worlds, not a person of the so-called Odega's divine domain. Wasn't he also the extraterritorial demon they mentioned? If they knew his identity, wouldn't it be disadvantageous to him? Yang Hongwu took a deep breath and suppressed the thoughts in his heart. He looked at the dragon monarch and said, in other words, the 6 worlds are now in imminent danger. Yes, the dragon monarch said, as long as any of the 6 worlds has an accident, the other 5 worlds will also be destroyed. You have great luck and are recognized by the dragon monarch. What kind of existence is the dragon monarch? Since he has chosen you as his successor, you must have your own merits. You will certainly be able to defeat the extraterritorial demon and protect the 6 worlds. When Yang Hongwu heard this, he didn't know whether to laugh or cry. Or should he cry? He had actually become the savior of this world. However, Yang Hongwu wouldn't stay here. He didn't have so much time to waste. Moreover, if he didn't kill the so-called devil and instead led that guy to the mortal continent, wouldn't that be a big trouble? One should know that the mortal continent was his base camp. The divine domain and the mortal continent were very likely to be the inner world of the mortal life Great Seal. And the inner world of the mortal life Great Seal was destined to be his own inner world. Once he was targeted by such a terrifying devil, Yang Hongwu wouldn't have any way to deal with it. At least at present, it was impossible. He couldn't deal with it. After all, his current strength was still too weak. He was far from being able to compete with experts who had surpassed the Emperor Realm. Even if it was a divine Emperor Realm expert, with Yang Hongwu's current cultivation and strength, even if he relied on the formation, there was no way he could defeat them. Even self-preservation was a bit difficult. Lord Dragon Emperor, you think too highly of me. I am not a savior. The reason why I obtained the inheritance of the Dragon God was just an accident. Moreover, I didn't cultivate the inheritance of the Dragon God at all. I have already given it to you. Yang Hongwu said, no, you are the tribulation taker. If I'm not wrong, Odega Divine Domain is divided into 6 realms. And in these 6 realms, each realm has a tribulation taker. You are the tribulation taker of our dragon world. As for the tribulation takers of the other 6 realms, they should also appear. The Dragon Emperor said, you certainly can't defeat the extraterritorial demon alone. However, the 6 of you, the inheritors of the 6 realms Emperor, will certainly be able to suppress and even kill the extraterritorial demon together. The more he talked, the more mysterious it became. This kid is so cowardly. I don't think he is the tribulation taker of our dragon world. An elder of the Dragon Emperor said, Lord Dragon Emperor, are you mistaken? I think Lord Dragon Emperor should be the tribulation taker of our dragon world. After all, Lord Dragon Emperor has already broken through. Not long after, it is not impossible for him to break through to the Dragon God realm. Chapter 1564. Yang Hongwu didn't know whether to laugh or cry. This guy seemed to be determined that he was the so-called savior. Dragon Emperor, no matter what, I have to thank you this time. Yang Hongwu said, there's not much time left. I should leave. Let me escort you, in case you meet Figaro again. The Dragon Emperor said, no need. Yang Hongwu shook his head. Then, his figure flashed and disappeared from spot. Void travel technique? An elder of the dragons was shocked when he saw Yang Hongwu disappear without a trace. Even the space didn't fluctuate. When Figaro had escaped, he had teleported through space, but he had still caused spatial fluctuations. However, when Yang Hongwu teleported through space, there were no spatial fluctuations at all. He couldn't help but believe that Yang Hongwu was the savior chosen by the heavens. Let's go back. We should cultivate well and prepare well. Figaro won't give up. That person won't give up either. The great calamity has begun. It's not far from the time when that guy comes out. The Dragon Emperor's eyes were filled with worry. Yes, Lord Dragon Emperor. As for Yang Hongwu, after the Dragon Emperor and the others left, he returned to his original spot and activated the formation. The most dangerous place was the safest place. Figaro had just arrived here, so it was impossible for him to find trouble here. Therefore, Yang Hongwu didn't choose any other place and activated the formation at the original place. Rise! After Yang Hongwu shouted softly, he hit the array with a symbol. The next moment, a bright light shone and the void passage opened. Yang Hongwu stepped into the void passage. After an unknown period of time, Yang Hongwu appeared on an ancient mountain. Yang Hongwu was very familiar with the aura here. It was none other than the common people's divine realm. I'm finally back. Yang Hongwu sighed. He didn't expect to cross a great world. He could only blame the problem with the previous teleportation. However, Yang Hongwu wasn't going to return to the Yun family and the Liao family. He might as well directly return to the Tsangshan continent. With a thought, another formation was laid out. He was prepared to activate the formation to teleport back to the common people's continent. After all, he had left the common people's continent for a long time. His goal was to find a fragment of the common people's great seal. I didn't expect you to be an outsider. A voice echoed in Yang Hongwu's ears. When Yang Hongwu heard it, he jumped in fright. His face sank. This voice belonged to Figaro. Not only had he not left, but he had also followed him to the deity plane. Figaro, you're really good at scheming. Yang Hongwu's face was gloomy. He didn't expect that he would be tricked this time. Figaro's scheming was too shocking. Moreover, his concealment technique was even more powerful than what he had imagined. He had actually followed him to the deity plane. Haha, I finally have the opportunity to break through. This world is my opportunity to break through. This is actually a complete deity plane. It's equivalent to the unbroken Odega deity plane. Here, I can break through the shackles and break through to the emperor realm. Once I become a true emperor, I will control this deity plane. When I take over this divine realm and become the ruler of this place, even he won't be a match for me. I'll be the true, invincible, sovereign emperor. Figaro revealed himself and laughed wildly. What a big tone. Yang Hongwu said coldly. He was secretly calculating in his heart. This guy's strength was indeed too strong. In the dragon world, he could still mobilize the will of heaven and earth to deal with him. But here he couldn't. He didn't have the will of heaven and earth in this world. There was a guy who was recognized by the will of heaven and earth. Therefore, it was too difficult for him to deal with this guy. It could even be said that it was almost impossible. Although his strength wasn't the true emperor realm, he was still half a step away from the emperor realm. However, Yang Hong found that his worries were unnecessary, because at this moment, a powerful aura appeared. A huge eye appeared in the sky. This huge eye was formed by the will of heaven and earth in this deity plane. Haha, Figaro, you're dead. Haha, will of heaven, it's actually the will of heaven. Figaro's expression changed. This will of heaven was extremely terrifying. It was enough to mobilize the power of heaven and earth. Figaro was terrified to the extreme. He was just a clone. Moreover, even if his original body came here, he might not be a match for this will of heaven and earth. Kid, consider yourself lucky. But I will be back. Figaro felt the terror of the eye of heaven. Without any hesitation, he tore open the void and left. Figaro had used up a lot of energy to forcefully break through the spatial barrier. This clone would probably use up all its energy. Yang Hongwu didn't expect Figaro to be so decisive. After Figaro left, the eye of heaven didn't disappear. Instead, it stared at Yang Hongwu. Yang Hongwu was shocked. The will of heaven couldn't be thinking of dealing with him, right? However, just as Yang Hongwu was feeling worried, the eye of the heavenly Tao scanned Yang Hongwu for a moment before slowly disappearing. Yang Hongwu breathed a sigh of relief. In this deity plane, the eye of heaven and the will of heaven had appeared. It seemed that this world wasn't simple. Could it be that this world had a master? If that was the case, then if this world was the inner world of the Life Great Seal, didn't that mean that the Life Great Seal had a master? Then how could he obtain the Life Great Seal? The other party had already grasped the Life Great Seal. In this world, his strength could be imagined. Although Yang Hongwu had recovered his cultivation and broken through the shackles, he was now an expert of the first level of the Monarch God Realm. He was much stronger than before. However, Yang Hongwu estimated that he was far from being a match for the other party. Moreover, if this great world had a master, he would have an even bigger problem. That was, the other party had the Life Great Seal. He would definitely want to obtain the fragments of the Life Great Seal in his hands. The other party was so strong. Would he be able to withstand it? Thinking of this, Yang Hongwu was somewhat depressed. He sighed heavily. Brother, Nini, it's you. Hearing Nini's voice, Yang Hongwu's mood improved. Chapter 1565. Brother, your state of mind is unstable. If this goes on, there will be problems. Nini said worriedly. It's okay. I'm really fine. So, Nini, you don't have to worry. All right, how is the Fortune Divine Tree? Yang Hongwu thought of the Fortune Divine Tree. He had extracted a lot of fortune chi from the Fortune Divine Tree, and it had become a little dispirited. Yang Hongwu felt a little apologetic. It was because of him. Don't worry. The Fortune Divine Tree is fine. It's just a little exhausted. As long as it replenishes its energy, it will be fine. Nini said. Yang Hongwu heard this and heaved a sigh of relief. It would be a pity if a treasure like the Divine Tree of Creation withered, because he had absorbed too much of the chi of creation. Since the Fortune Divine Tree was fine, Yang Hongwu adjusted his mood and opened the teleportation array. This time, Yang Hongwu directly teleported to the Goddess Palace. Mortal Continent, Goddess Palace. I'm finally back. Yang Hongwu sighed. However, his current strength was far beyond this realm. When he teleported to the Mortal Continent, he felt the suppression of the power of laws. The will of heaven appeared. Yang Hongwu's cultivation was too strong. He was now in the Monarch God Realm. The Mortal Continent couldn't accommodate the existence of Monarch God Realm experts. However, what surprised Yang Hongwu was that the moment Yang Hongwu appeared, he felt the rejection of the will of heaven. However, the rejection of the will of heaven disappeared in an instant. Yang Hongwu didn't know what was going on. Suddenly, he thought of something and understood what was going on. Yang Hongwu couldn't help but laugh. It turned out that he was sent out of the continent by the will of the heavenly Tao, because the will of the heavenly Tao was worried about that terrifying world-destroying power. Previously, he could be said to be the savior of this world, and he had a huge karma with this world. Now, although his strength exceeded this world's, the restrictions of this world were due to the power of karma and the will of the heavens. Not only could they not do anything to him, They had to obtain an immense amount of power of virtue and a boundless amount of fate. In this world, it wouldn't be too much for them to become the child of fate. After all, without Yang Hongwu, even if this world was not completely destroyed, it would have caused great damage. Looking at the original Goddess Peak, Yang Hongwu sighed. The Goddess Peak had already been destroyed. He had to admit that Gong Lingfeng was crazy enough. If it wasn't for his good luck and powerful treasures protecting him, he would have already died. Damn it! When Yang Hongwu scanned the area with his divine will, his face changed drastically. Although Yuji and the other girls were in his inner world, and he didn't have to worry about them, in this mortal continent, other people such as Nangong Sini and Huang Yi were all captured and locked in a bottomless abyss, enduring endless torture. Nangong Sini and Huang Yi were all disciples of the mortal continent. These women were all disciples of the Goddess Palace. These people who had been locked up and tortured were those who had stood on Yang Hongwu's side. Yang Hongwu's eyes emitted a terrifying cold light. Obviously, the people who imprisoned Nangong Sini and the others and tortured them were none other than Gong Lingfeng and Gong Liani. What surprised Yang Hongwu was that Gong Liani's cultivation had also recovered and had made great progress. As for Gong Lingfeng, she actually reached the Tai true God realm. One should know that in this world, the half-step true God realm was the limit. However, this woman actually broke through the limit and reached the Tai true God realm. Although she couldn't fully display her strength, it was still very terrifying. In this mortal continent, no one was her opponent. Yang Hongwu flashed and instantly appeared in the abyss prison of the Goddess Palace. Yang Hongwu, it's you? Seeing Yang Hongwu suddenly appear, Nangong Sini and the other girls were shocked. You're okay. Great. Seeing that Yang Hongwu was fine, Huang Yi and the others were also very happy. Why are you here? Quickly leave this place. If you're found by my master, you're dead. At first, Nangong Sini was very happy, but in the next moment, she became very nervous and said to Yang Hongwu. However, Yang Hongwu shook his head and said, Don't worry, I'm here to save you. I'll let you out now. No, you can't save us. Although you're powerful, the abyss prison has been sealed by the old ancestor. The old ancestor's strength has already broken through the limit, and he has become a true primordial, true God expert. No one in this world is a match for the old ancestor, not even devouring heaven. Blood Devil and killing Heaven Sword Demon are also not his opponents. Nangong Sini shook her head and said, That's right, young Master Yang, quickly leave this place. Huang Yi nodded and said, Ha! Yang Hongwu laughed and didn't care. Don't worry, I'm confident. Young Master, quickly leave, my master is coming. Yang Hongwu, I didn't expect that you're still alive. There's a path to heaven, but you don't want to take it. There's no door to hell, but you're looking for your own death. At this moment, an arrogant female voice sounded. Yang Hongwu looked towards the direction of the voice and saw that it was Gong Liani. In the next moment, there was a fluctuation and Gong Lingfeng appeared. Little bastard, you're still alive. Seeing Yang Hongwu, Gong Lingfeng was surprised. Such a terrifying, destructive power. Moreover, Yang Hongwu was sucked into the void. Not only was he not dead, he even came back, which shocked Gong Lingfeng. She had already made a breakthrough in her cultivation and reached the level of a true Tai real god. Due to the breakthrough in her cultivation, she had become much stronger. Hence, she knew how terrifying the void was. Even though she was a Tai real god now, if she were to enter the void turbulence, she would definitely be death was the only way out. In order to enter the void, one had to reach the divine emperor realm. Otherwise, it was impossible to resist the terrifying corrosive power of the void. Old man, how can I die when you're still alive? Yang Hongwu said, Little bastard, you're still alive. That's great. Today, I'll extract your soul and let you suffer life and death. You'll never be reincarnated. Ha ha ha. At this moment, Gong Lingfeng's face was twisted and ferocious. You're talking big, Yang Hongwu said calmly, and his expression didn't change. He looked at Gong Lingfeng and said, I really don't know where your courage comes from. You're just a loser. However, I'm curious. Both of you have broken through. Who helped you? Chapter 1566. Be careful. Nangong Sini was shocked when she saw Gong Liani taking action. Yang Hongwu was not worried at all. He raised his hand and threw out a punch. The fist force collided with Gong Liani's finger force. Gong Liani's finger force was instantly dispersed. Then, Yang Hongwu's fist landed on Gong Liani's body and sent her flying. Everyone was shocked when they saw this. They could not believe that this was the truth. Under Gong Liani's powerful attack, Yang Hongwu was not only fine, but he also sent Gong Liani flying. It was unbelievable. Impossible. This is impossible. I'm a peak half-step to true God. I'm only one step away from breaking through and becoming a true Tai true God. How can a piece of trash like you defeat me? Gong Liani was sent flying by Yang Hongwu's punch, and she was injured badly. However, this made Gong Liani even more mad. She was mad that she was sent flying by Yang Hongwu. One should know that she had recovered her cultivation and even made a breakthrough. However, she was sent flying by Yang Hongwu. How could she take such a blow? All of a sudden, he became deranged. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. Kill. I want to kill you. Gong Liani roared and rushed towards Yang Hongwu again. Stupid. Yang Hongwu snorted and threw out a punch to send Gong Liani flying again. You're not Yang Hongwu. Who are you? Gong Lingfeng looked at Yang Hongwu, and she was shocked. Although Yang Hongwu's cultivation was not bad and his fighting power was shocking, it was impossible for him to be so terrifying. Although Gong Liani was not a Tai true God, she was not far away. Even if she had broken through to the Tai true God realm, she would need a lot of time to take down Gong Liani. However, Yang Hongwu defeated Gong Liani so easily. What cultivation had he reached? What kind of situation? It was only now that Gong Lingfeng noticed that he couldn't see through Yang Hongwu's cultivation. Gong Lingfeng, you want to take me down with you. You blew up your world fragment, but you didn't expect me to be so lucky. Not only did I not die, I even broke through and reached an unimaginable level, right? Yang Hongwu looked at Gong Lingfeng. Gong Lingfeng and Gong Liani's expressions were very strange. It was comical. It's really you little bastard. What a surprise. I didn't expect that you would also obtain such a great opportunity. However, you will still die. If you didn't return, you could still live on. But you little bastard just had to return. You are simply courting death. Gong Lingfeng couldn't see through Chu Feng's plan. Yang Hongwu's cultivation realm was very high, but she was not afraid at all. Instead, she laughed loudly. Yang Hongwu squinted his eyes. After seeing his strength, this woman was still so arrogant and impudent. She didn't put him in her eyes at all. Something was strange. It seemed like this woman still had a powerful trump card behind her back. This was probably the reason why their cultivation realm had improved so much. What kind of trump card do you have? Why are you so confident? If I am not wrong, your trump card must be the person who helped you improve your cultivation. Ask him to come out. Let me see who he is. Yang Hongwu said, You want to see my master? Gong Lingfeng snorted. You're not qualified. Little bastard, you should end your own life. Yang Hongwu heard this. This woman must be retarded. She actually wanted him to end his own life? If you don't ask him to come out, then I will kill you and force him to come out. Yang Hongwu said and threw out a punch. This punch was naturally the 10-direction killing fist. This punch was filled with a terrifying killing intent. This terrifying killing intent condensed into a peerless killing god and rushed towards Gong Lingfeng. The power of this punch was incomparably overbearing. Although it was not Yang Hongwu's full strength, no one in this world could stop it. If there was no one blocking it, this punch was enough to kill Gong Lingfeng. Gong Lingfeng saw Yang Hongwu's punch, and her face changed drastically. Yang Hongwu's strength had definitely surpassed her. She was afraid that he had already reached the monarch god realm. Unbelievable. This was too unbelievable. She was at the Tai true god realm, and her cultivation was suppressed. She couldn't unleash her full strength in the common people's continent. Yang Hongwu's punch definitely surpassed the strength of the Tai true god realm. If she only relied on her own cultivation, if she relied on her own strength, she would definitely not be able to stop it. Hence, she could only use her trump card, because if she did not use her trump card, she would definitely die. However, she did not want to die. Golden Toad King come out. With a light shout, a golden light soared into the sky. Following that, a huge golden toad appeared. Exotic beast, Golden Toad King. Yang Hongwu squinted his eyes and looked at Gong Lingfeng. This is your trump card? A monarch, god, Golden Toad King? Bam! Yang Hongwu's killing fist landed heavily on the Golden Toad King's body. The Golden Toad King was instantly pushed back dozens of feet. The golden light on its body weakened by a lot. Damn human, you dare to injure me? After being punched, the Golden Toad King was injured and furious. It stared at Yang Hongwu and roared, "You deserve to die." The Golden Toad King turned into a golden light and rushed towards Yang Hongwu. This golden light contained a powerful destructive force. The Golden Toad King was a monarch god realm exotic beast. More importantly, the Golden Toad King's natural superpower was extremely terrifying. In the blink of an eye, the Golden Toad King appeared in front of Yang Hongwu. Then, it opened its mouth and was about to swallow Yang Hongwu. The Golden Toad King's natural superpower was to swallow the heavens and the earth. This Golden Toad King was also known as the Big Stomach Golden Toad King. It could swallow the heavens and the earth. It had eaten countless experts. The Golden Toad King's stomach could digest anything. It could even swallow supreme treasures. Emperor weapons, true treasures, they could all be digested. Hence, many experts, even peak monarch god realm experts, were caught off guard and swallowed into the Golden Toad King's stomach. They would be completely digested and die without a burial place. You want to swallow me? Yang Hongwu laughed and said loudly, "You're overestimating yourself. A mere beast dares to be so arrogant. Who am I, Yang Hongwu? I am the Supreme Emperor. A mere toad wants to swallow me? You don't know the immensity of heaven and earth." Chapter 1567. I am the Emperor, the Supreme Emperor. Every word that Yang Hongwu said was like the ringing of a large bell, heavily bombarding the hearts of everyone present. The Golden Toad King, who was targeted by Yang Hongwu, was suddenly hit by this powerful force. The Golden Toad King's body was suddenly sent flying. Yang Hongwu stepped forward and a heaven palace appeared in his hand. It was the Heaven Palace of Destruction. This Heaven Palace of Destruction instantly turned into a huge heaven palace and fell on the Golden Toad King's body, instantly suppressing the Golden Toad King. "Come!" Yang Hongwu shouted again and reached out his hand. The Heaven Palace of Destruction flew over and entered Yang Hongwu's body. The originally huge Golden Toad King also turned into a small golden toad. Yang Hongwu waved his hand and a golden flame appeared. The moment the golden flame appeared, the Golden Toad King screamed, "Already! Emperor, please spare my life! Emperor, please spare my life!" At this time, the Golden Toad King was already seriously injured. This human was too terrifying. Even in this world, his strength was so terrifying and powerful. Moreover, the Golden Toad King felt a terrifying power from his body. This terrifying power almost caused his soul to collapse. Already, when the Golden Toad King saw the flame that Yang Hongwu burst out, it was instantly terrified to the extreme. This was karmic fire, the legendary karmic fire of the Red Lotus. It knew very well that if the karmic fire of the Red Lotus fell on its body, it would be extremely terrifying. The terrifying karmic fire of the Red Lotus would burn its soul. Impossible, this can't be real. Gong Lingfeng saw that the Golden Toad King that she summoned couldn't even withstand a single blow. Her eyes were wide open. This was the powerful Golden Toad King of the Monarch God Realm. Even if it was an expert at the peak of the Monarch God Realm, if they were accidentally swallowed into the Golden Toad King's stomach, only death would await them. However, this powerful Golden Toad King couldn't even withstand a single blow from Yang Hongwu. How could she believe this? How could she not be crazy? Devouring furnace, come out. Yang Hongwu ignored Gong Lingfeng and the Golden Toad King. The fireball instantly landed on the Golden Toad King's body. The Golden Toad King immediately screamed as the red lotus karmic fire wrapped around it and began to burn it. After Yang Hongwu summoned the devouring oven, the Golden Toad King turned into a beam of light and entered the devouring oven. Refining a divine monarch realm beast wouldn't be of much help to Yang Hongwu. However, it could be used to raise the cultivation of Nangong, Sini, and the others. After all, it was his fault that they were trapped here and tortured by Gong Lianyi and Gong Lingfeng. It could be seen that they weren't happy. Their foundations were already damaged. With the Golden Toad King's inner core and his own alchemy skills, he could refine a few pills to repair their damaged foundations. After a few breaths of time, the Golden Toad King, which had been wailing nonstop, no longer made a sound. Yang Hongwu, you little bastard, do you know what you've done? Gong Lingfeng's eyes finally revealed a look of panic. That was the subordinate of the Demon King. You actually killed it. You're dead, do you know that? The Golden Toad King was the subordinate of a Demon King. That Demon King had given them a great opportunity to find a treasure in this world. The Golden Toad King was sent to protect the two of them. Unexpectedly, the Golden Toad King was killed by Yang Hongwu. Demon King. Yang Hongwu narrowed his eyes. There were demonic cultivators in the 13 divine regions, and there were also many demonic Dao experts. As for the Demon King, Yang Hongwu had never heard of a Demon King. However, there was a powerful demon like the one in the Western Dragon Boundary. That demon was sealed by the entire Odega divine domain. Its strength was terrifying to the extreme. It was an existence that surpassed the Emperor. Could the Demon King be equivalent to the Emperor? If it was really the Emperor, then there would be trouble. That's right, little bastard. You've killed the subordinate of the Demon King. You're dead. The Golden Toad King is the favorite of the Demon King. He's the son of the Golden Toad Emperor. You've killed him, so you're dead. Ha! Gong Lingfeng said and crushed a jade talisman. The jade talisman instantly turned into a ray of light. It broke through the sky and the void. Yang Hongwu's eyes narrowed. He called for reinforcements again. He didn't know what kind of luck Gong Lingfeng had. He actually got in touch with people from the upper world. Previously, it was Gong Lianyi. Now it was Gong Lingfeng. These two damned women really knew how to cause trouble. This time, no matter what, he had to kill the two of them. Killing me? No one can do it. Yang Hongwu snorted. At this time, the Golden Toad King had been completely refined and turned into pure energy. Yang Hongwu then formed a few seals. These were alchemy seals. Yang Hongwu extracted a trace of Qi of Fortune and condensed it. In the sky, a huge cauldron appeared. The Qi of Fortune entered the cauldron and merged with the refined energy of the Golden Toad King. After a dozen breaths, the pills were refined by Yang Hongwu. Seeing this scene, the crowd was shocked. Alchemy. Yang Hongwu was actually refining pills. Moreover, this method was simply unheard of. It was too shocking and too powerful. Keep. Yang Hongwu gave a light shout and put away all the medicinal pills. Yang Hongwu thought that Gong Lingfeng would make a move. However, Gong Lingfeng only stared at Yang Hongwu and didn't make a move. This surprised him. However, at this time, a crack appeared in the void and a domineering aura appeared. An illusory figure appeared in the sky. The overbearing aura was coming from this illusory figure. Gong Lingfeng, my son is dead. Who killed him? Seeing the shadow, Gong Lingfeng was pleasantly surprised. He pointed at Yang Hongwu and said loudly, "It's him. It's this little bastard. He killed the Golden Toad King." The illusory figure was filled with anger. Staring at Yang Hongwu, the powerful aura enveloped Yang Hongwu. "Ant, you kill my son, the Golden Toad King? You deserve to die. Do you know that the Golden Toad King was the only son of the Golden Cicada Emperor? Villains all die because they talk too much." Seeing the shadow, Yang Hongwu stretched out his hand and patted lightly. Rays of light appeared in the void. These rays of light were like shooting stars in the sky. In the next moment, the entire goddess palace was enveloped by countless starlight. This was an array formation. When dealing with the Golden Toad King, Yang Hongwu felt a sense of danger. Therefore, when Yang Hongwu dealt with the Golden Toad King, he set up a formation. You're tuning into the warrior lore YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.